ChairShot Podcast coming to you here on a Sunday evening. We are a week into December. The bells are jingling. The C2 is rolling on. We've got so much to delve into. We've got a loaded run sheet here for the broadcast tonight. I'm one of your hosts, Barry, joined as always by my ever-dependable co-hosts. First of all, we got Joe.
Hello, everybody.
And we also got Paul.
Bomb.
That's Paul from who says Bob, but that first world in Mario 64 is that? Do they say Bob? Or am I
Bob on Battlefield?
Oh, Bob on Battlefield. Yeah.
I don't know if they make a noise. But
actually, no, they don't. They go do. They make the same kind of Goomba noise that everyone in that game
Toad does a kind of these days. So
I love how 30 years ago when they were finally having, it was like, oh, we're making a 3D game. I guess we'll have to come up with a voice for all these characters, but also not too sophisticated a voice because it's in 64. You there? Can you? We've done the bombs. Can you do something for Toad? Oh yeah, okay. What if I do like this? Hello, it's me, Toad. and because that game was iconic and memorable, now 30 years later, Toad's doing something like this. Hello.
well, there's in Mario Kart 64 though. Toad goes, "I'm the best." So I don't know where the disconnect was, or why all the characters, why Wario in Mario Kart sounds like, "Hey, I'm Wario over here. What's going on?" All the voices have changed.
The other weird thing is, I feel like of all the iconic Mario noises, I feel like certainly in terms of humor, Toad's like falling off the side of the map in Mario 64 sounds should be. He just does a classic cartoon cliff falling sound. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Toad, right? Forget about that. We got a load of stuff to talk about.
By the way,
go on.
Who's this beside me here?
There he is, Captain Toad.
Captain Toad.
He's a minor.
Is that an amiibo?
No, it's not. But I have the Lego Captain Toad as well.
That's pretty cool.
Look at that. Shit.
Anyway. Do you own any amiibo?
No,
me neither.
Tat. Too much tat for me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I very shamefully I bought more than my fair share of Funko Pops back in the day, and I'll never quite live that down. So I will. I'll forego any more plastic rubbish. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. We got a lot of wrestling stuff, but let's do the non-wrestling stuff, and then we can use the wrestling to segue into our features and then the telly and all that.
Sure.
Christmas and that in it. Baby Jesus. Hope you've all opened your first 7 panels on your
I have not opened the 7th one.
You son of a bitch. You better do it. Well, after this podcast, go do it, right? And don't ever come back on this podcast again and tell me that you haven't done it.
Why do I have it out of the calendar?
Because they're fun. They're fun. Keep the whimsy alive.
40-year-old man.
No.
Don't go buy chocolate, whatever you want.
No. Where's the whimsy in that? Where is the whimsy in that? Of course you should have it. I'm disappointed. I don't have one.
I'll tell you what will change your mind, Paul, when you hear about our advent calendar.
We
have a Taskmaster advent calendar.
Ooh,
and every window, you open it up, and there's a tiny little envelope in there with a little task on it. Yeah. And you have to try and find the next window. So they don't have numbers on. You have to try and figure out what the next window is from the task. So yeah,
nice.
We're doing it after dinner every day, and it is. I've been looking forward to it all day.
And do you get a little chocolate as well?
No chocoley. No, just do. You get the thrill of completing the task. But then what I do is I open up the old Cadbury's Heroes and I go, "Oh, I'll have 4 chockies as a reward for doing the task." So
very nice.
Yeah. But it is very good. Yeah,
I have a bog standard Galaxy calendar, so I just get a little tree shaped like some mediocre chocolate.
I don't have any. Maybe I should buy one of those like 800 quid. Like whiskey ones, or there is now cheese. Or cheese.
Yeah, cheese.
That must be. It's such a weird line to walk because again, all these things are also bougie. But if it's like cheese, like how nice is that possibly going to be coming out of a fucking advent calendar?
I saw a darts advent calendar.
Where you get a dart in it or a flight?
Yes, both.
Okay.
It costs 150 quid.
This is the thing. This is the thing. A lot of these ideas I think are cute enough, and I like the idea of maintaining the whimsy of the advent calendar, but graduating it from chocolate onto something, but they're all just extortionate. Like I would like a booze related one that was not like 400 quid, and it's like it's the finest, it's like
craft.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's every single one of them is specialty. It's either chocolate or an extortionate like specialty one. They should release. They should do an AEW one where it's got one of the little trading cards on the inside.
That'd be cool.
So there's an idea.
Pokemon trading card.
Do they?
As well? Yeah, they do a little special.
Do you actually get them, or are there like 47-year-olds selling them for 3 times markup on eBay? I've got Pokemon advent calendars and sticks of RAM, folks. I beat up an old woman to get them both, and you can have them at your leisure.
That'd be cool. The special limited edition AEW gimmick.
I did have, back on the subject of Christmas, I did have a nice Christmassy day today. I went to a drive-in cinema playing a Christmas film.
Oh.
It was a fun little endeavor. It was like a free thing put on by the management of the industrial park I work in. It was like not even my job. It was like just the people who own the land or whatever. It was cool. It was free, and there was free sweets, so we gorged ourselves. We were the only, as far as I could tell, we were the only car that had just like 2 adults in it and no kids. So they handed us this bag overflowing with like Ribena fruit shoots and little cans of diet of Pepsi Max and popcorn, and just stuffed our face. And then every time I get up to go to the bathroom, and every car I walked past was like full to the brim with kids. Like, listen, lads, I love a free cinema ticket. Okay, so, and I won't be judged for it. We saw How the Grinch Stole Christmas from the year 2000, starring James Carrey.
I like that movie.
I always hated it, and I think I've talked on the show about hating it. I think I kind of like it more.
I like the weirdness of it.
I think I appreciate the weirdness of it and all the ridiculous outfits and the sets, and I don't think all the jokes hit, but I think the ones that do are actually really good. There's some good stuff in there. It's good fun.
I can't have a face for Paul. I can't.
It is, but
it's face. I can't.
Well, I have an issue. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this year, the memification of everything is the Grinch this year. McDonald's Grinch sponsorship. You went to Tesco, Grinch Christmas jumpers.
You're supposed to fear him, everybody.
Pillows. But 90% of Christmas tat this year is the Grinch.
Oh, it's edgy. Oh, Father Christmas not good enough for you.
Yeah.
You got to be edgy, anti-hero.
It's in line with our obsession with the Joker. You know what I mean?
Vader,
it's the freaking Christmas Joker over here.
Oh my God.
This stuff is going to turn me into the Grinch.
I'm Grinchified.
Don't talk like you're one of the Who's. You're not. The toy show, of course, Paul, was Grinch themed this year.
Oh, again. Which was, I think, one of the best toy shows in a few years.
I did not watch it, sadly. I was
much improved from the last couple of years.
I watched the toy show most years, but the wife was away, and I was like, I don't know. I'd feel odd sitting here watching it on my own. I know tons of people do, but I just I got in my own head about that night. But then I heard it was great, so I should have watched it. But
one thing I like about the toy show, I do feel like it should be more of a global institution. Like, what's the world waiting for to get on board with the toy show? But I do love when they bring a kid out, and it's like, and by the way, little Billy, you love lots of things, right? You love movies and movie stars and Premier League footballers and all that. But I hear you especially love the Kildare minor football team, don't you? especially Jimmy O'Brien. He's your favourite, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, if you turn around, look who's here. Yeah. Look at the slow. Now this year, to be fair, Roy Keane in the house. That's a big get.
They had Roy Keane and CMAT, which I think are two heavy hitters, and they made a whole thing about CMAT. In fact, where my wife was at the CMAT gig, which is why we were not watching the toy show together, and so they made a whole thing of like, I did see that clip, but they went to the singer. They're like, "Oh, and you love CMAT. We love her to be here, but she's in the 3 Arena tonight." But she sent us this video, and then they seamlessly segued. I mean, I watched that clip, and I was like, "Damn! If this was an AEW, they would have fucked this up 6 ways from Sunday if I think the audio correctly and not give away that she was in the room." But Roy Keane is probably the biggest one they've had in ages.
Yes, for sure.
You know, who hosts the toy show these days?
Patrick Keelty.
Keelty. Keelty, is it?
It is old Keelters,
Okay.
who I think we probably talked about this last year, Paul, but everyone was very skeptical. And I was like, well, he's like 10 times the presenter of most of the people who typically do this. I'm not even a big Keelty guy, but I was not
part of
doubtful
the
at all.
charm, though.
It was part of the charm. Was
the awkward badness of Ryan Tuberty.
Tuberty in particular being just completely awful. I mean, just
Yes.
like
jealous of the children.
Jealous of the children.
That feeling with Keelty, to be fair.
Keelty is more conventionally fun, but I think he's done quite well. Again, I didn't get around to watching it this year other than the few clips.
It was very good.
But and what's that now, little Timmy? Now we know down there in Cavan, you're big fans of one battle after another, aren't you? Well, and you like Sean Penn, don't you? Well, you'll never guess who's here. It's Sean Penn, and he's looking very intense. Yeah, he's doing. Yeah. No, it's good to be here.
That was good, and I mean, what I always like about the toy show really almost gets me in the waterworks. But I was like, this one, maybe we've spoken about this before, but I love when they have kids on who've gone through some shit, and they're like, well, Magic of Christmas and that, you and your family, you're going to Disneyland. Amazing. I don't like when they bring a kid on who's just hosting, and they're like, oh, here's also your favorite celebrity or something.
Yeah.
They haven't earned it.
Yeah.
And that kid that were the children, they who were key for a second. One of the kids had Tourette, so he's explaining a bit about Tourette's. And he has his friend with him, and they're saying, "Oh, your friend's so good, and he kind of sticks by you." And that was lovely. And then they got a message from Lewis Capaldi.
Oh yeah,
because they said, he says, "I love Lewis Capaldi because he has Tourette's like me, and he does so well." And blah blah blah. And there was a message from Lewis Capaldi going, "I want you to come to my gig as a VIP when I'm in Dublin next year or whatever." Yeah, they were crying and so excited that. And then Roy Keane came out as well, and I was like, that's a bit much to be the Grinch, but they already got their presents. Let's not be too Christmas spirit here. But no, it was really good, really really good. Very enjoyable.
Yeah. So that was the annual toy show segment. Elsewhere for me, I mean, the only other thing I've had on LifeGo for the first time, I think, at least since about a month before I got married, because I was using the wedding and a bunch of other stuff as an excuse. I had my first driving lesson in a very, very long time, which I was very nervous about. I'm very nervous. The whole process does make me very nervous, I will say. But it went very well. I would say, dare I say, it was my best one yet. I think I've really built up. I've gotten to that point now. My instructor said this to me. He says he basically said, you can drive now. Was effectively the thing. You're now in that element where you are able to just seamlessly just move the car around and not overthink everything. And now it's just a case of fine tuning before the test. So that was good. So I have another one tomorrow. So hopefully early 26, wrapping up that saga. We will see how that goes.
Doing, just for myself, I probably won't be doing much driving over Christmas. I'm not a very anxious driver, but I don't like the idea of driving at a time where people are more likely to be drink driving. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pare down during this period. But I did a big drive myself. I'm a year with my full license now. So you would think that I'm not celebrating little milestones, but I think it is similar to the drive from Dublin to Mayo. When I went up Croagh Patrick. This week I did my first drive into Dublin Airport.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is a notoriously bad drive.
Yes.
Because my parents were coming back from their holidays in Spain. So I said, I'll come pick you up, whatever. Which is a nice thing to offer. But then when you arrive at the airport and their flight has been delayed by an hour, and you're sitting around the airport at 11 p.m. Nothing's open. All the shops are closed. Burger King's closed. We'll just do laps at the airport. So, but the drive was good fun. About 40 minutes from here to Dublin Airport, in and out. So that was nice. But one thing I will never bow to is the paying of tolls. I always have my Google Maps set to avoid tolls. Even if I have to drive 10 minutes extra, I am not paying a toll to drive on a toll road. They won't No, thank you.
Do they have pickup fees at the airport? Because we have that now. It's a big thing. Even if you're just driving in to pick someone up and not parking, you have to pay like a fee to enter.
Oh, I don't know, because I did park in the short-term parking, which I was there, like I said, for about an hour.
Oh,
and it was €3. So
it's not bad.
That's fine. I don't know if there's that they enforce any kind of pickup charge like that. I don't know.
Any other light stuff this week, Paul?
Well, I put the Christmas decorations up.
Finally.
Up. Don't have the tree topper yet. That's on the way from Amazon.
Okay.
But the tree itself is up. Various decorations through the place. I have a little Santa playing a saxophone. Reindeer antlers here for some reason.
I love him. Okay.
Does he work? Does he do anything? Let me try and turn it on. Do you do something? What do you do? I guess not. He's got a switch and a battery pack underneath him. I don't know what he's supposed to do. Anyway, decorations went up, which was lovely. Watched a bit of the football. We're going to do a big football deep dive, but aside from the United games, Joe, I'm very much enjoying this season of football. 2 cracking games this weekend, and 2 cracking games the weekend before. Arsenal Villa, absolute banger. Leeds Liverpool, absolute banger. And then last week it was the Brighton game and the City game were bangers as well. So the gift that keeps on giving. And then can't wait for United to draw with Wolves tomorrow. That's going to be a big week. Otherwise, and one more thing I just want to talk about was it's a work thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked about this last year. But so the company that I work for, without trying, how do I explain this without going on?
I don't give it too much away.
The company I don't care giving away. Sure, whatever. The company I work for was a branch of a bigger company and was kind of rebranded as part of that bigger company. And so last year there was ambiguity about my Christmas holidays because of that. Now, typically I take 2 weeks for Christmas every year, and I take 2 weeks in the summer every year, and then whatever random days. If I need to go to All In, for example, I'll take the Monday off, so on and so forth. But because of that change, there was ambiguity about my entitlements, that I didn't have enough entitlements to take my 2 weeks for Christmas, because the entitlements used to go from April to April. And then when the company changed, the entitlements were scheduled to end December. So I wouldn't accrue the days that I would work from Monday or from January to April. I typically wouldn't take any time off then. So I would have more days for Christmas. So last year we had the situation where I said, I don't care about the entitlements or how any of that works. I'm taking my 2 weeks. And if there's a problem with that, we'll deal with it later. But I'm doing it anyway. And so I got my 2 weeks and nobody ever said anything about it, and it was fine. This year, the opposite. So I got an email from my manager saying, we don't think there's going to be any carryover of holidays this year. So take all your entitlements before the end of December. Now, because I've been working on this big project, which went live just start of October, I had been working more and not taking holidays as I typically do. So I have, as of now, 7th of December, I still have 13 holiday days to take this year, not counting Christmas, 3 bank holidays and stuff, or New Year's Eve. So I got onto them and said, well, if you want to enforce that, I will be working, my last working day would be the 10th, which would be this Wednesday. And you would not see me again until the 5th of January. Nice. If you want to tell the client that that's what we're doing, feel free. Then I'll just be like, all right, lads, see you next month. So we worked out a thing where, which I feel like for me is actually a better deal. So hopefully no one from work hears this. But let's just say I work for, what's a different company? Tesco. Yeah, Tesco. That's who I work for.
Good old Tesco.
But it's a deal where essentially I will work in inverted commas, right? So if they need me for calls and that, but I will put the days in as holiday days.
Right.
So I am officially taking them, but the client that I work with, we agreed that, okay, put your holidays in, but work during them, and we'll give you back those days in the new year.
Okay.
So what's happening is I'm getting my 2 weeks. The week and a half before my 2 weeks, I'll be sort of half working, and I'll get all those days in lieu again.
Okay.
So I'm going to end up with like 8 weeks holidays next year or something like that, which is good fun.
Well, you can go on lots of trips then.
Yeah, which, again, Joe's mere mention of the AEW Manchester had me feeling a little sad because, of course, I won't be going.
Sadly, yes.
But next year, as we said.
Got Wembo coming.
More trips for me. Well, I will be going to Wembo. Don't worry.
I skipped last Wembo. I'm going to try and go to this one.
Wembo.
Yeah, I got to going to Wembo.
The calendar is filling up. I mean, which is good. Good problem to have. But I will surely try and squeeze Wembo in. Joe, any life go?
Went to see a play. Went to the old theatre.
Yes.
The play is the thing. Play called All My Sons, written by Arthur Miller, the famous playwright who was married to Marilyn Monroe. Just after the war. It's about a kind of a businessman who made a lot of money during the war, but there's something happened. Happened, and he was charged with something, and he got away with it. But you're kind of like, well, did he actually do it? So that's kind of the setup of it. Starred, well, I mean, it was a great cast. It was a fantastic cast. It was Mr. Bryan Cranston as the lead. Marianne Jean-Baptiste. His wife, Papa Essiedu, as the son, and some other brilliant actors. It was very good. Cranston, excellent, of course. The rest of the cast was excellent. Very nice production. Quite a lot of. It wasn't sort of bare bones. It was quite bare bones set. The actual set, it was one essential location, but then they used a lot of kind of lighting and sound and effects to really kind of bring it to life. So it was really, really good. I think it's a really old theatre. It's the one we saw inside number 9 at, and we're up in the upper circle, and the seats are insane. Like you can't. Even as a 5'6" man trying to sit in these theatre seats, I'm like struggling to get me legs in. Other people cope, but yeah, that was the only downside of these theatres. These old kind of West End theatres that have been around for 200 years. Yeah. But yeah, it was very, very good. No interval, which is perfect. I love when they don't have an interval. It's right. Come on, lads. Let's get to the end of this.
Bash.
Come on. So yeah, very, very good. Very kind of arresting. So enjoyed that. Very good play. And then yesterday we went to Costco. So that was a bit different.
We bring the boo.
They did have the double chocolate chip cookies, but we didn't get some of those.
Oh, you didn't get any?
I got the hot dog instead. So yeah, that was good. Yeah, it's a good week.
I like a play, and I like a Costco guy. So that sounds perfect.
Pretty good.
That's the live stuff for ourselves. We'll jump into the wrestling news for the week. And it's been a loaded week, and I'm going to have to add to the run sheet right here as we do it here. Because we have rights fees, guff, new segment coming in hot on the podcast this week. We had some real moving and shaking going on in the world of television, and in particular wrestling. The long rumored, long whispered TNA deal has finally come to pass. They have signed a deal with, honestly, a network I would not have guessed in a month of Sundays. AMC, the television network, and also AMC Plus, their streaming service, is going to house TNA. They have roughly the same amount of coverage in the US in homes as the TNT, as the Turner networks, the AEW family of networks. And I mean, they are, it ain't 2008. It's not Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. AMC is not exactly peaking right now. I mean, they still have the 78th Walking Dead spin-off that I think does solid enough numbers for them, but I think I heard in some coverage that their kind of average viewership week to week is like 350 or 1,000 thereabouts. So it's not like it's not in the millions and millions as it was a lifetime ago when they had all these powerhouse shows like Mad Men and Breaking Bad that were and it's fascinating because it's kind of like, so you look at that and go, oh, well, tough times. Everyone wants live sports. Everyone wants live something. But I mean, without just going full tinfoil hat, I mean, I just can't look at this as anything other than WWE or TKO had to more or less get this for them. I just can't shake that feeling. Not to knock their recent, our deal is they fucking got it. I mean, back pre-COVID when the Dixie Billy thing happened, the legal proceedings, and I mean, memeing aside, that really felt like we were like, okay, this is it. They must be done now. I mean, they must be done. The broadcasting on Twitch for a while, and then they were on Access, and the only reason they were on Access is because their new parent company owned Access. I mean, they were as down and out as they have ever been, and to jump from where they were to AMC is super impressive, regardless of how they got there. So I'm not trying to knock that, but I mean, the whole WWE TNA thing has very much felt like WWE just trying to foster some controlled opposition. I mean, that's all it really is.
And Weekend of Bernie's.
Weekend of Bernie's
the corpse of TNA as no, it is a real wrestling promotion. Look,
yeah, and yeah,
it's strange. Like, it is an impressive deal. I mean, as much as cable TV is not, worth much anymore.
Yeah.
And they're not on streaming, although I think there's an AMC Plus or something.
Yes, there is an AMC Plus deal, yeah.
Streaming, but it's not like one of the big streamers. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a good channel. It's not the one anyone really predicted, because everyone thought they would just
careful, Joe, because Eric Bischoff will tweet at you, don't call it a channel, it's a cable outlay or something.
Eric Bischoff, why don't you go fuck yourself, you son of a bitch.
Was that your Cedar Duran impression? Was that like his ML?
I'm surprised he's got time to do podcasts, what with all the, successful TV shows.
Promotions he's running.
Wrestling promotions and TV shows he's producing. Or if he's got time for anything. But yeah, I agree. I mean, you can get a bit conspiratorial because you go up the chain and you realize AMC is owned by MSG Entertainment. And you're like, wow, that obviously have close connections to WWE and UFC. Then again, all these channels are owned by rich wankers anyway.
Yeah, they're all owned by 2 people anyway. So like,
there's only like 7 people, and they're all on.
And Nick Khan knows them all. So like,
they're all in Jeffrey Epstein's inbox as well. Apparently, all of these people. There's only 50 people in the world that sort of seem to be in charge of everything. But yeah, it's good. It's going to be interesting to see if like the whole NXT thing continues to hold people's interest, because it has been it seems to have really done a lot for them, but it's not going to last for it. Like, how often can you be impressed that Javon Evans is showing up on TNA? Right. I think people are going to lose interest in that eventually, unless they start sending bigger stars, which I do not think they want to do.
No.
But also, I'm sure this maybe happened because WWE committed to keep sending people. Like, they're not just why? Because otherwise, why would anyone want to show TNA when it's the Hardys, Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah, I mean that's
Santana and whoever else they've got. Is Crazy Steve still there?
I don't know.
Is ODB still the Knockouts champion? I assume Chris Daniels is the ex-champion. Still.
Yeah, you're bang on. Yeah, you're bang on. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, because I was kind of, when this news broke, and there was a rumored number going around that I don't think has any credibility to it, so we won't dissect that. But I was kind of like, you want to be fair, right? Because like I say, it's fucking bigger than anything they've had post Spike.
It's a network that we as non-Americans know of.
We know, and it's not like, I mean, Destination America and all these other
Pop TV,
all these insane places they were anyway. Definitely for nothing. Definitely just kind of like, yeah, we'll put you on. I mean, so you want to give them some credit, but then it also like, he's like, okay. I was doing this kind of thought experiment during the week with myself. I was like, okay, let's assume WWE is not involved, right? Now, and to be clear, I'm certain that in an official capacity that will be denied to the hilt because it would be borderline like, I don't think their shareholders would like, TKO shareholders would like finding out that they're helping other companies get TV, even if they're friendly companies. So it'll always be, that'll always be denied, even though it might be true. I was like, wait, in your head, like you're Mr. AMC, the man in charge. Please, Mr. AMC was my father. You're like, all right, I want to get in on this fucking live thing. All the sports are taken. Wrestling is doing well on Turner stuff and USA. You send a peon off. Who's out there? What are the promotions I can currently get? Your peon comes back. Your little assistant comes back and he goes, right, you got MLW, TNA, NWA, and WOW, which I think still exists. Obviously, you'd throw all of them away and go, okay, TNA is the most reasonable one, right? And then I was asking myself, if I'm in those shoes, how much, looking at their current roster, right? Looking at the shows as they currently put them on, where they're doing the 800th Hardy's Nostalgia Run. They just had a pay-per-view main evented by Frankie Kazarian versus Fandango. Okay. And
is that true?
Yes, because Fandango is doing like I'm retiring. He's doing John Cena's final year.
Oh, Fandango's final year.
Yeah, his final dance.
Who's the final opponent?
The Last Dance. Holy shit!
Fandango's Last Dance.
And they're still doing the. I don't want to get sidelined. Matt Cardona does his cameo back to WWE, does the fucking Triple H selfie looking the happiest the man has looked in about 20 years. And they didn't even fucking sign the guy and he's back in TNA. Oh my God, they just big dogged you so fucking bad, man. That guy, all the success he's had on the indies and reinventing himself post Zack Ryder, salvaging his career after they tried to kill his career. That man would sell all of that in an instant to be Zack Ryder for 30 more seconds. I mean, he would, in that company specifically, like it was so. But anyway, I'm like, you look at this roster, you look at the shows they put on there, and they're going to some bigger buildings lately. Like their pay-per-views, they've actually done okay. Yeah. Being completely honest with yourself, if you're Mr. AMC, you look at that, what would you pay them? The answer is nothing. The answer is, of course, nothing for Johnny Curtis versus Kazarian. Do you know what I mean? Tatum Paxley and Mariah May showing up every now and then to do a match. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, again, even in this era of all these being starved for live content, I don't want to do the conspiracy, but I can't fathom this deal happening if it's not WWE. If it's not the old Nick Khan going, just by the way, the guy who has all the connections on the fucking planet in the entertainment industry, like, nudging people in the right direction. But we'll see. Look, regardless, they got it, and it's kicking off in January.
So when are we reviewing Impact again? I'll
tell you this much, right? I absolutely not on a weekly basis. I'll cast my eye over the first one just to see, like, because again, I think I am zero use for that show. I think it looks like what if NXT had less star power in it. I mean, it just seems like everything I dislike about wrestling. I'll give it a fucking look, and because I'm curious, are they going to do anything to like make it look not like TNA?
Angles.
Yeah.
Any hot angles to start off, yeah.
Who would be the funniest person? Who would be the funniest WWE person to show up in TNA promoters? I think it's tough to top the answer, The Undertaker. I think Undertaker showing up in his trackies, talking about all the history. The X Division changed everything. I remember when the beautiful people made all that impact back in the day. Did I just say that? Impact? I mean, who are they going to wheel out? Are they going to wheel out a WWE
Kevin
person?
Nash and Alex Shelley storyline. oh, brother.
Let's get round. Get round out.
They already had to win.
Feeling the mana in front of 300 people.
In the famous the video where he endorsed Shamrock and people pieced together based on his outfit and where he was. It was the same video where he endorsed Joe Biden. He obviously like, listen, he's like, I'm not recording videos on this fucking phone all day. One take for each of them, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here. Look, I will be curious, and also I'll be curious if there's more details about this, because obviously we don't know. It's multi-year. We don't know number of years. We don't know money. We don't know any of that stuff. The
Rock was feeling the mana when he was on NXT that one time in the.
He was definitely feeling the mana that day
out of Orlando Performance Center.
That's absolutely insane segment. Elsewhere,
I'm saying nothing for them. On AMC, sorry, I was just again as another kind of science experiment, just looking at their lineup, their TV schedule lineup, AMC. Because I was thinking, okay, they don't have Breaking Bad, they don't have Mad Men, but I wonder what do they show these days? Walking Dead, I suppose. It just seems to be the same, like 5 films on rotation for the most part. In the 8 p.m. Eastern time on this Thursday, Fred Claus is going to be shown. So that's the Impact.
Oh, dear.
Bit. And then on Friday, I know TNA wouldn't be on Friday, but from 6 p.m. Until 12 p.m. So the 6 hours, final 6 hours, primetime 6 hours. It's the movie Elf 3 times in
a row, baby. Let's fucking go. It's like the premise of a great podcast. That is genuinely what American television is.
That's the state of American TV.
That's what American plays. Like, it's even lazier than this side of the world where it's like 4 hours of Friends and then like 2 hours of The Chase, and then 4 more hours of Friends. That's kind of what.
Here's the Saturday schedule from 12 a.m. Elf, Yes Man, Mrs. Doubtfire, Pinocchio's Christmas, The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold. Why is that not toy show level Irish? Twas the Night Before Christmas, Jack Frost, Ghostbusters 2, The Great Outdoors, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation again.
I'm looking at TBS and it is exactly the same.
It's the exact same. It's
5 episodes of Friends. Today, 5 episodes of Friends, Barbie, Sweet Home Alabama, and then Big Bang Theory from 5 p.m. until midnight.
Yeah,
that's the sketch. This is
every American TV network is E4.
Yes, that is so true. Yes, that is bang on. And listen,
it's just like UK Gold, but with even older sitcoms.
Yeah,
somehow worse.
And it's mad to think back in the day when we'd be watching Raw on the old Justin.tv, and you'd catch various other USA Network originals, the 5 minutes, like all that shit's gone now. Suits and Burn Notice, none of that shit. They're not making any of that shit. It's reruns of old stuff and old stuff, not even Burn Notice, reruns stuff from the 90s and movies. I was out of curiosity, I was just kind of looking around for sites where you can stream American television, so I could report it to the police. I wasn't even looking for anything particular. I was just kind of killing time. I was like, stupid on the internet, and I was like, okay, I found one, and it was like, similar to the ones again back in the Justin.tv days. Or that one would get killed, someone would IRC you a link to this other dodgy website. And I found one, and it was a very American centric. It had all the cable channels, and it actually had a built-in TV guide, so you could tell what it is. And I was like, wow, this is a cool tool. There is nothing like that. Like multiple instances of just multiple movies being played in a row, like you mentioned earlier about Elf. I mean, it is an absolutely insane landscape at the moment.
The only thing I can see new, other than Dynamite and Collision, is Wipeout. The
a new season of that. Okay,
and then college football. That is it. That is all TBS has, other than reruns. Whoa.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't bother talk about these TV deals anymore. It's just streaming. You just need to.
I mean, it's just like, when is this money? When is the money going to run out? Like they're, because I suppose the reason that they're still shelling out the money is that people will watch the last 5 minutes of Elf before they watch. I mean, that is,
this is reality, right? I have a TV in my home. What do I watch on TV?
Sports.
Football. That is it.
Everything else is
anything else on TV. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if this conversation didn't make you cynical enough about the future of television, folks, there was the very unusual ongoing saga of the Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition. It seems like Paramount, backed by the Ellisons, were bidding, and then they, foreshadowing what was about to come, they put out a statement basically saying that WBD wasn't playing fair, and we're not
it's rigged anyway. So
yeah, after having everything rigged for them for the last 2 years to just all go in their favor, they just couldn't hack that.
Rubbish. Don't even like Warner Brothers. Rubbish.
It's crap. Bugs Bunny. What's that? And that then foreshadowed Netflix being announced as the acquirer of Warner or part of Warner Brothers Discovery, I guess. So basically, they were split into two corporations. One of them literally called Shitco. And to our point, we were just making, what's in Shitco, everyone? TNT, TBS, CNN, and a bunch of the other dinosaurs that are completely useless. And the company that's being acquired for, I think the rumored is at 80 billion. That's the ballpark value of it. And it's literally called like The Cool Stuff Limited or some shit like that. It's DC, HBO Max, all the IP that goes with that, Harry Potter, all that shit. So literally it's all the IP and the streaming stuff and the comics and the video game studios as well, which is another interesting wrinkle on it. And then the cable television stuff is all completely untouched. Should this go ahead? A lot of analysts in the last 24 hours coming out saying they don't even anticipate this will go ahead. And it was more so about WBD taking a deal to make Paramount go away, and there's no actual chance this deal will go through. That all remains to be seen. You're all talking about 2-3 years of negotiations and hashing this stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
The wrestling upshot, it kind of... it's unclear in a hypothetical world where this goes through. TNT would still be on the air. TBS would still be on the air. HBO Max would then be part of Netflix. And again, because we're talking about stuff 3 years in the future, does Netflix absorb all the content and bin HBO Max? Do they say actually HBO Max is cool to run on its own? We've no clue. Tony Khan did not comment on this whole situation because he said it was too early, which is probably one of the rare instances where he was probably right to not bother wading into this stuff. It's impossible to without dooming. You kind of want to say, well, okay, if the cable networks exist on their own, what money do they have without all the other stuff? But again, you're getting
they'll be just dead within a few years. It'll be written off, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
it just exists. It's being kind of spun off so they can be written down and closed, basically shuttered, without affecting the other business. So
you're right.
I don't think anything immediately is going to change with AEW. It doesn't affect them too much. The only overall big effect is that there's just fewer and fewer media companies out there that don't already show WWE. Like they're all in partners with WWE. So we'll see. It's kind of bad broadly for film, because we all know Netflix is horrendous. There's a few things on Netflix that we're watching. Like we're watching Arrested Development at the moment, and so I'm flicking through Netflix, and it's absolute crap. Like there's just nothing of value on there. They don't support cinemas. Anything good is gradually going to go away. We know this. I mean, not that Warner Brothers is like some amazing company, but they are at least a bit old school.
Yeah.
An old school studio, so we'll see. But I think AEW is in a good position, I think. Yeah. Especially like when you look at the pay-per-view numbers they've been doing. I think that's actually pretty encouraging that they've been growing that business. So we'll see.
I was going to say, I can't wait for AEW to debut on Destination America. But actually, Destination America is owned by Warner Brothers. So that probably happen. Oh, well.
But yes, much is changing. Much is changing.
So, just a segue in terms of the changing of content. AEW aired its last episode.
Wow.
Hey, Sabio.
Hey, AEW. One of my favorite little things to consume.
Oh, yeah. It was so funny. It was a very, very funny last episode.
It was.
He is a funny guy.
Oh, yeah.
He spent, I would say, 60% of the episode doing a Triple H impression.
It wasn't like a very on the nose one.
No,
on the nose.
He wasn't doing the game.
It was kind of the modern Triple H one of like, I'm talking my deep voice because I'm an alpha, like this. Him coaching Eddie Kingston on his entrance. That was very funny.
How to do his entrance?
No, well, you stop and look up at the crowd. And, you got to breathe it in, kid. That was so funny.
It was very, very good.
Right, and I hope he's doing something. Hopefully, it means he's doing something else. Yeah.
Well, he's in the room, quote unquote. He's
room where it happens.
He's credited with a lot of the Tony stuff. 800 Tonys in AEW.
Tony, just give AJ RJ.
Dynamite brings 5 big boobs every week.
For some reason, I was thinking Styles. You were going big boobs.
I was thinking Lee.
God! Now, God,
lots of AJs in wrestling.
Too many AJs. Too many. This is like I think you should leave, kid. 55 Tonys, 55 AJs. So he's obviously still with the company and doing lots of fun stuff. In the by the way, back on the Impact conversation, there was the rumor that AJ Styles could be on that first episode, possibly doing a match. Which I think that would walk the line quite well of having a guy from their own history without it. Because I don't think it actually would be. If Triple H shows up, that is such little brother energy. If Triple H shows up, that gets you off on the wrong foot.
That's like AJ, ICW in Scotland.
Oh my God, that fucking Mark who runs that place going fucking. Oh God. Anyway,
Triple H.
And then finally on the wrestling news front, God, loads of wrestling news this week. Darby Allin, they acknowledged that he was injured last week on TV, and then this week, so he was in the hospital last week. They had that footage of him in the hospital. This week, he was out and about. He was able to do a pre-tape about being removed from the C2, but I guess they're like he can't be cleared to wrestle. I don't know if they specified what the issue was. It was something in the Kevin Knight match messed him up.
I would have to assume, based on saw that it was a concussion.
Yeah, based on the that finish of the match and everything. That's unfortunate. But at least we got a substitute. Jungle Jack Perry swapping in. I'm gonna do a new little feature here. I'm gonna open up the website and I'm gonna pull up this roster and I'm gonna take a look and see is there anyone else.
Commander in again. He did a great job.
They did Commander last year.
Luchasaurus.
I think I would rather have Luchasaurus as well because he's
I guess have Marco stunned.
A friend of mine pointed out that it's quite a small block size wise anyway. Luchasaurus in there to toss some people around.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you want someone who is moderately pushed. So I'm skipping over a lot of the people here. Like Ace Austin's good, but they don't push him. Brian Keith, I would rather have. Well, they don't really push him. I would I think I would have loved Lashley in this thing, but trading wins, brother. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, brother.
We didn't talk about MVP's mandate on people not being allowed to like suplex Bobby Lashley. By the way,
I didn't even hear about that. That's hilarious. Yeah.
MVP was telling people, work your size, brother.
Oh, that is so funny. Actually, you know what? To be fair to AEW, I'm looking at, because obviously you'd want a baby face as well. I'm looking at this roster right now and not counting people who are like absolute jabronis or injured. Maybe they didn't have a million different options. Yeah, Commander is actually probably the best shout I've seen thus far. Kyle O'Reilly. No, he's already in the fucking thing.
No, Kyle is not.
Okay. He was supposed to be in. He's injured.
He's injured. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Looking at this roster, yeah, maybe you know what? I'll cut AEW some slack. There's not a million healthy baby faces that are somewhat pushed and over. Anyway. So that is Darby out, and I think the way they do it is Perry just gets his points and they carry forward.
I mean, Darby wasn't on any points anyway,
right? So they're just going to roll on with that. That is the wrestling news this week. Joe, do you want to do a C2 pick'em update?
Speaking of the C2,
Paul can do fantasy for the week then as well.
Of the pick'em, yeah. So we are now up to 12 matches so far in the pick'em. Who did we have this week? We had Moxley to Kashta on Collision. We had Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What else did we have?
Claudio
Moxley, of course. Claudio Mascara. And was there one more?
There were 3 on Dynamite, 3 in Collision.
Yeah,
so
there's one
3 on Collision already.
Well, we got all the results here anyway. So there's been 12 matches. The scores, bringing up the rear on 7 out of 12 is Young Barry.
Dang.
Slightly better than just tossing a coin there, I think, but you know, maybe you'll pick it up as we go along. I'm on 9 out of 12, respectable, but leading the way. Only one wrong. Paul, 11 out of 12, correct.
Only missed the Darby floor on that one.
Yeah, went for
every other had Mascara over Claudio.
Yeah. All the Moxley ones, correct.
Yeah,
very good so far. I mean, it's gonna be hard to catch Paul.
There's only 2 in it. So
yeah, but it's tight. It's tight. The old C2 pick'em. So yeah, we'll have obviously more matches.
I mean, 11 out of 12 is very good. To be fair,
that is very good.
So I'll take that for sure.
Yeah, so we got another 8. Is it 8? No, how many matches we got left? Another 18, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, another 18 matches.
18. Okay.
Let me
2 to be caught.
I'm gonna pull up the C2 sheet here that Joe very kindly did for us. Joe, like, what do you think we're getting in Manny next week? They are promoting nothing for that show other than there will be C2 stuff on it.
When is the Dynamite Diamond duo?
Sorry, we're getting that, which means we're getting
that's for Manchester, right?
Yeah, we're getting MJF's comeback on that show. Basically, is what that basically tells me. All the have I not been paying attention? By the way, I only realized when Mark Briscoe said Cardiff on this week's Dynamite, that was the only time I realized they were doing Wales as well. I don't know if I'm just not paying attention.
No, I just had no intention of going to Wales.
But yeah,
so it wasn't. They're doing. Yeah, Collision in Cardiff, and they have announced. So they got the Briscoe match. You've got the tag Hater and
Hater and the Sisters of Sin,
tag match.
They've announced stuff for that one, but the Manchester one, it kind of just seems like it's...
Swerve Hangman tag match. That's this Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, we might get an idea after this Dynamite.
Yeah, and there's another Swerve versus Josh Alexander.
On Collision.
Forget where Cardiff. Collision in Cardiff, okay. Yeah. So now for the fair bit for Cardiff, we're getting the big old diamond thing.
Cardiff, which I don't think there's any live again, but it starts at 9:30 our time. It's an early Collision, so
I think on Collision this week they were talking about it. I think they were saying it was going to be live coast to coast.
1:30 ET, or sorry, 4:30 ET, 1:30 Pacific. So that would be 9:30 our time. I wouldn't say it's probably starting at 9:30 when they're actually taping it, but it might be.
It's probably tape delay. Okay, yeah.
But usually they'll not air it till 3 a.m, so it is only a very slight delay at least this time.
Yeah. Look at the matches in the Blue League that haven't happened yet.
You got Castagnoli Takeshita.
Yeah, Castagnoli Takeshita would be really. I'd be happy with a lot of other stuff if we got that.
Cassidy would be good. Moxley, Cassidy, Okada versus Kevin Knight. I mean, all these would be good, but there's no sort of big matches.
Speedball Kyle Fletcher would be pretty fucking cool.
It could be good. Yeah, I mean, any of these are going to be good matches.
Yeah, the blocks are good.
They're not blockbusters. To be fair.
Blocks are good, but
Pac Jungle Boy. Oh, that should be. So that is the C2, and then I believe, Paul, we've also got a bit of a fantasy league
update. I've clawed a few points back on you, Joe.
Yeah.
You had a 10 this week, I had a 16, so 6 points back. Barry had 18, but don't worry about that. So between Joe and myself, it's Joe ahead on 953 to my 945. So there's 8 points in between Joe and myself. Keeping in mind now, the latest update is that my Darby Allin on my team now likely out for the rest of the year. So I'm down a man.
You're down. Darby, Coach gone. Lashley's not doing any job.
Not wrestling.
Your Brody King maybe might see him about.
Look, I mean, I'm really counting on Takeshita Okada carrying me at World's End.
Yeah,
with, like one of them getting like 40 points.
Yeah, you've got them and Tony, possibly the women's tag, which was a bit of a surprise. I thought Bane and Shafir would
that they'd give Bane the reign, but they can once again.
Well, not even to have a heel, to have them against the Cinderella team in the final, but all babyface final, which is
also any mention of Dynamite Diamond Ring. Does that to have Joe? Might MJF be making his return?
Yeah, I think MJF or Swerve. Surely it has to be one of those two, doesn't it?
I think MJF will win that thing for the rest of the time. I think he'll always have
unless he doesn't return and they have someone else hold it and MJF come in and they do a match later for or something like that.
To me, it feels a little bit last dancey to advertise that because they've said nothing about Manchester at all. So like it being the one big thing they've done for this international Dynamite makes sense that this would be their subtle way of saying it.
Oh, goodness. Come on, MJF.
That is where we stand. Barry 1204. So Barry's still 250.
I don't think Barry gets the fantasy league because last year he was about 400 points behind, and there was no tension. It was me and Paul going to the wire. And this year he's 400 points ahead, and it's me and Paul going to the wire for second place. And it's
a bit like when you play poker with a child, and you can't bluff them because they just they went around again.
It's like we're supposed to be working this, brother. It's supposed to be like tension.
There's going to be no near falls.
No near falls. Barry's like, win or lose. No near falls. Thank you.
Yeah. Not too much else to report on. I mean, Ospreay is still hanging in there in the top 10 somehow, despite not having wrestling for the last 3 months. Who's likely to pass him? Dax Harwood is 2 points behind him. So Dax Harwood.
He'll surely cross that.
Ospreay.
Who else was there? Probably not Brody King, maybe. I don't think he will. Ricochet, possibly.
Yeah, we now have how many people is that? We've got 19 wrestlers who are over 100 points.
Mark
this year, which is quite good going. Megan Bain just crossed 100. She's the latest one.
Give me in the rain. Is she
in the rain?
It's only 3 women with 100 points, isn't there?
Yeah, Megan Bain's Mercedes and Toni Storm. Statlander on 96. And then Tekla is the next top one on 56. which is crazy. Tekla 56, Willow 53. You would have in your head, right, that they would be like top scoring women. Both scored less than like Mike Bailey has scored. Or like Adam Cole has scored more points this year. You know, Hologram has scored more points this year than like Willow, which is mad. You would think that hopefully next year we'll have a few more women up at the top of the point scoring, because I mean that's kind of the logic in the draft, right? Is that you're thinking, well, let me pick some of the girls up, so you know we'll get their points, but really it's only, as we said, Mercedes and Toni Storm, and then Megan Bain,
the big two
coming up towards the back. That's really it. And Statlander, by virtue of winning the women's title, like that bonus alone makes up more than 20% of her total points. So anyway, that's the Fantasy League. We do have a quizzy quiz.
Ooh.
So it's a redo of what we did last week, which is the Barry gave us the name The Catch as Catchphrase.
Yes.
So we've got 5 relatively simple questions, but you guys don't know what the questions are. And you take turns picking one of the words for the question and try to, in a sense, fill in the catchphrase square and try to figure out what the question is and then give the correct answer, having one guess every turn. So we've got 5 rounds again. Each question having, again, 10 words. So sometimes the grammar is a little bit squoze, but they do make sense. If I asked you the question in the way it's written, you would be able to answer it. So who would like to go first this time?
First. You go, Joe. Yeah.
Joseph. Okay. Question 1. Joe, what number would you like to start?
Let's start with number 4, please.
Oh. Number 4, first.
First. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Good guess. It's not Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Barry.
5, please.
PPV.
Double or Nothing?
It's not Double or Nothing.
It's a good guess.
Joe, back to you.
I'm going to say Backlash. Oh, no, wait, I've got to pick a number.
No, pick a number first.
Always forget to pick the number. Let's go 7. Backlash 2000.
It's not Backlash.
Oh, should always be Backlash.
8, 9, 10. Parade is here. Give me 8, Paul.
Annual.
Okay, annual. Which? What was the first paper with the annual? Oh God. All in 2024.
It's not, I'm afraid. Joe, back to you. Pick a number.
10.
Calendar.
Fucking hell.
What?
The Royal Rumble.
It's not the Royal Rumble. Barry, back to you. What number would you like?
2.
What number 2 is
a Revolution.
It is Revolution.
You missed it.
Any guess what was the question?
What is the first pay-per-view? What is AEW's first pay-per-view in the something? Yeah.
What is the traditional? No.
Which is the first pay-per-view on the annual AEW calendar?
Okay.
Was the question. So Revolution was the answer. Barry, 1 point for you. And you're up first for question number 2.
Give me number 9.
In.
Fuck. Right. Los Angeles, California.
No. Joe.
10.
You. AEW.
Riho.
It's not Riho.
What number did Joe say there?
10.
9 and 10.
9 and 10. Okay, in AEW. Okay. What is something in AEW?
Four. Wrestler.
Okay. Okay. Orange Cassidy.
It is not Orange Cassidy, I'm afraid. Joe, back to you. What would you like?
8.
Not.
Dang.
You can see why Orange Cassidy didn't work.
Ah.
Cody Rhodes.
It is not Cody Rhodes. Barry, back to you.
5.
From.
Jade Cargill.
It is not Jade Cargill. Joe, back to you.
6.
The.
First is from the something nominated.
So you got blank, blank, blank. Wrestler from the blank. Not in AEW.
Wrestler from the. Wrestler from the. John Moxley.
It is not John Moxley. All right.
7.
Pinnacle.
Okay. Who is the wrestler from the Pinnacle? Not in AEW. What was the Pinnacle again? That was that MJF thing? Sean Spears.
He's got it. Sean Spears is the answer to.
I nearly said Mike Santana, but that was the Jericho.
That was the Inner Circle.
Inner Circle, yeah.
The question was, name the only wrestler from the Pinnacle not in AEW. So Sean Spears is the correct answer. Barry takes a 2-0 lead. Joe, you're up to get back into it here.
Okay. Let's go number 3.
The.
MJF.
It's not MJF. Barry.
4.
Only.
Okay, who is the only? Chris Statlander?
It is not Chris Statlander. Joe.
8.
In.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Adam Edge Copeland.
Nope. Afraid not. All right.
7.
Bean. Been.
Bean. Okay.
No. Double E.
Oh. The only.
Mr. Bean. The only wrestler, Mr. Bean.
Is the answer Teddy?
Wrestler's mother.
Chris Jericho?
It's not Chris Jericho. Joe.
9.
Every.
What could the final one be? Every. God. Hangman Page.
It's not Hangman, I'm afraid. Barry.
10.
C2.
I don't even know what the actual answer to this is. Darby Allin?
It's not Darby Allin.
Fuck.
Joe.
5.
Person.
Okay. Who's in it this year? We just talked about this.
We did.
Could be... Oh, Kyle Fletcher?
It is not Kyle Fletcher.
Bollocks.
Barry?
I know the question, but I...
1, 2, and 6.
Let me go 6.
Who's? With an apostrophe, yes.
Haha, very good. Okay. Claudio Castagnoli?
It is Claudio Castagnoli. Barry gets the win with 3 straight. So we're playing for pride. Who is the only person who's been in every C2 was the question there. Darby was not in the first one, and neither was Kyle Fletcher. They were both in the 2 most recent ones. Looking at the first one from 2023, the number of people who were in the first one who haven't been in either of the other 2. The rundown from 2003: Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, Danielson, Andrade, Brody King, Garcia. A lot of them not in the current one. Claudio, Swerve, Jay White, Roosh, Jay Lethal, Mark Briscoe. Most of those not in the current one.
Oh, stacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have John Moxley, who's in the current one from that, and Claudio. In fact, they're the only 2 from the original lineup that are in the current one.
Yeah.
John Moxley and Claudio. And Moxley wasn't in last year's one because he was the world champion at the time, so he wasn't in it. There you go.
Another fun edition of that.
Well, we have 2 more rounds, but if you want to play for pride, you can.
Let's do them. Let's do them.
All right.
Okay. Barry up first.
Okay. 5.
Championships.
Seven.
Nope. Joe, over to
you. 7.
Bean. EEN.
Kenny Omega.
10.
2019.
3.
It's not 3. Joe.
8.
Created.
6.
It's not 6. Barry.
9.
Since.
Okay. Okay. I'm doing maths here. Just hang on. Five.
Not 5. Joe.
6.
Have.
8.
It's not 8. Barry.
2.
Manny.
9.
It's not 9. Joe.
So many numbers. Hang on, we've had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, 1, 3, and 4 to choose.
3.
Total.
I mean, total. 6, 4.
It's not 4. Barry.
It can't be 10.
3. Have we had 3 already?
Well, the words left are 1 and 4.
4.
AEW.
Okay, so how many titles in total? Okay, since 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's inclusive of 2019.
Right, of course, yeah. 11.
He's got it. It's 11. 11 is the correct answer.
Were you including the Owen Hart in that?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you what they were. World, Women's World, TNT, TBS, international, and I'm not counting All Atlantic as separate, one belt.
One belt, yeah.
Continental, unified, national, tag, trios, TBS, women's tag, of course, the new one. Makes 11.
Good luck.
It's a lot, yeah. 11 AEW titles, and I didn't count FTW either, of course.
No, of course not.
Created in AEW.
Yeah.
One played very well. Okay, last one, Joe. Come on. Get you back in this.
1.
Who?
Kenny Omega.
Barry.
4.
Reason.
CM Punk.
Not CM Punk.
2.
4. FOR.
Who for? Darby Allin.
Not Darby Allin. Barry.
3.
Some. What a question.
Who, for some reason? Luther.
Not Luther. Joe.
5.
Accompanies.
Alex Abrahantes.
He's got it.
Well done, Joe. Well done.
He's got it.
Very
the
good.
last 5 words were host luchadors to the ring.
Very good. Very good.
Alex Abrahantes was the answer to that one. So
Great.
Barry with the win. 4-1.
Save some face.
With
Saves some face. That's all important.
Throw in a silly question at the end.
Yeah, a bit of fun.
Let's do a silly one. Alrighty. Dynamite. Also silly. It places.
Bad in places.
I thought this show looked fantastic on paper, and it stuck to its recent template of the C2 stuff being good and everything else being a little bit shaky. But we did open with a good non-C2 segment, I will say. Samoa Joe came out not looking as clean as he usually does. He was kind of in his gym gear and shoes.
He was in his trackies.
In his trackies, and he said that he wasn't going to wear a suit because he realized it'd be like wearing a tux to a petting zoo, which was cute. Eddie came out. This is basically their big face-off for Winter is Coming next week, and Joe kind of gave him the usual Eddie material of, all this potential your whole career, you never amounted to it. I did like one thing that he said here that I thought was more interesting than any of the shit they alluded to last week in their big explanation segment. And Joe said, why Hook and why you? And he's like, well, Hook trained with the best. He trained with me. I'm a world champion. I'm this, I'm that. I wanted him to get a taste of what it's like to train with a loser, train with the second and third place people and the people on the other side. I thought that was good. I thought that was a good little line.
Yes.
And the thrust of Eddie's promo was kind of like, I looked up to you. I wanted to see the greatest Ring of Honor world champion in history, the guy who used to beat the shit out of my mentor Homicide back in the day. And basically that better be the guy who shows up at Winter is Coming, because if anyone else shows up, I'll take that title. I thought this was classic Eddie doing his absolute damnedest to make a 2-week build where everyone knows he has no chance seem viable with just great material. The stuff about Joe and Joe's heyday in Ring of Honor, I thought was great stuff. Yeah.
I agree that this was like had some nice seasoning on it to make it an elevated version of the promo we've seen 100 times before. I mean, on Joe's side and on Eddie's side, I feel like there was so much retread ground with Eddie, you can't do it.
You can't do it.
Potentially not reach it. But also this isn't the insert wrestler name who I want to have a match with. I want to have a match with the old version.
The old wrestler. Yeah.
We've seen that. But this was, Eddie Kingston's sauce on it. Yeah, as you said, the Hook background, which I think made sense as well. So yeah, I mean, again, what will the match look like, or how good will it be? I mean, we will see. But this was, this is where Eddie Kingston is at his strongest. So rather than having him have tag matches with Hook against the Iron Savages, tailgate brawl, this is what when you have an asset like Eddie Kingston, this is what you use him for. Don't again become one of the retreaders and say that as noted walrus egg, Paul Heyman, once said, accentuate the positives, hide the negatives, all that stuff. Like, you've got Eddie Kingston, this is what you use Eddie Kingston for. This kind of stuff. So
for sure,
very good.
I hope the match delivers. I like the Shibata match. I think
it was good.
We've been critical of the Eddie comeback largely on the booking side, but also, he's had some wonky performances. I think he knows when he's not being used well. I hope this match delivers. Ops backstage, Hook trying to come off like a tough guy again, fakest thing in the fucking world. I mean, fake as the Sisters of Sin doing the spooky we're demons thing. I mean, just so unbelievable. Can we get now? So I think it's good, but he's so.
Can we get to that
up.
Sisters of Sin on Collision?
I mean, how vindicated were we? We said that last week. Like, that act is so bad, it's killing both their auras. Like Sky Blue had the great blood thing in the Blood and Guts. Julia Hart had proven his aura before, and then the Collision. Brute. It was absolutely fucking brute. Oh my god.
It's an interesting one. I mean, they've done the turn now. As you said, he doesn't really come off as a tough, especially when he came out. Was it the last week where he came out with Joe? Where Joe was like, "Here he is, my boy," and Hook came out,
and he just didn't know what to do with himself. It felt like
he looked like, again, this is just visuals because I don't want Taz tweeting at me, but like, he came out looking like a 8-year-old.
Yeah,
and he's too much of a God. Hey, we're at this point at the ground, but he's too much of a visual baby face.
He is. Yeah, he is.
And he comes out wearing the cool clothes, and let's get a bit of edge to him if he's going to be with like Hobbs and Shibata.
Yeah, Hobbs and Joe, all these guys who look hard as nails, and you wouldn't fight them for fucking all the money in the world, we had our first C2 match. Okada defeated Pac in a really good match. They went back and forth a lot. It was very. This was the first one where I was like, I feel like they might do a draw here, because it's two guys who are really, obviously Okada gets pushed super hard. Pac is on, like, Pac kind of feels like he's on the cut. I feel like Pac is going to be the guy who eventually boots Moxley out of the Death Riders, and he's your new guy. But to be fair, they haven't done a draw yet, to be fair, in this, and they've had a lot of high profile matches. They've just stuck with their guns, and they've had a lot of interesting results. And this being one of them. Okada turned the Brutalizer into a sort of cradle of sorts and got the 3. So there you go.
Yeah, and Pac counted the Rainmaker into the roll-up that Fletcher used to beat him last week, which is a nice touch as well. Great dropkick on Pac. The way Pac bumped for the dropkick. Very, very good. Maybe not quite as good as that pay-per-view match they had last year, whenever it was, but this was very good. Very good. Pac's great. Yeah, I think is someone they could promote a little bit. I think he's I mean,
this new look has freshened him up quite a lot. Like, it's even though it's not that his old look is bad, because his old look was great. He's remained in phenomenal shape, and he had the kind of stringy hair. It was a good look, but for whatever reason, it kind of, I think, what I think it was? I think he's constantly doing this thing where he's going home, or he's either injured, or I don't know. I don't know. Is it visa related or what? He's constantly back and forth, right? And it kind of feels like he comes back, and it kind of feels like, okay, here he is again. How long do we have him? Now, you could still ask that question, but coming back this time with like a different look and kind of freshening up the act a little bit kind of makes it feel a bit more definitive. Like, oh, Pac is like back, and we're actually doing something with him now. So yeah.
Has me thinking of when AEW started. He was one of the names involved.
Yeah.
To me, he was like a top line guy.
Yeah.
You could have him in a main event with a Kenny Omega or a Mox or whatever. So I'd like to see him get. I mean, he does everything very. He's a great wrestler.
He's a great wrestler, talker, yeah.
Around him. Great look. He's got it all. Potential future Total Package of the Year winner.
Could be.
If they push him right.
Mark Briscoe called out Danny Garcia for Wales.
This is an easy night, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that 6 points on the horizon? Thank you.
Just announced for Collision, Mercedes against Layla Gray.
I think we need a rematch.
Oh dear.
So yeah, and like they're doing the thing again, like, you know, Briscoe's like, oh, is this John Moxley-ism? You know, as was kind of my issue when they put Garcia in the group. I think it's a good fit, but we're just back to doing this. The second he turns heel, it's the angle is instantly, when is Garcia going to snap out of it and be a baby face again? That's I talk about retreading territory. I'm sick of that. Because the problem is they turn a baby face and then they never know what to fucking do with him. I don't think it's that complicated. I think they could. You know, if they gave him a TNT title run that wasn't like 6 collision matches, I think maybe something would have come of it. But that's what they did. You know. Ricochet pre-tape talking about the national title.
Ring of Honor, we don't cover that.
Ring of Honor, yeah. Had Strong getting snippy with the conglomeration backstage. Conglomeration drama, my fucking God. I mean, who could give a shite?
Listeners, Barry just rolled his eyes. He looked like the Undertaker for a second.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care. I as I've often said on here, I don't care about like elite melodrama. Those are like top stars. I don't care about that. I certainly don't care about Roderick Strong being. I'm not in this group, by the way. That's the other thing. He keeps sticking that point. I'm not in the conglomeration. Oh no!
But it doesn't feel like it's building towards a he accepts and he loves the conglomeration.
No,
or like you'd think that the storyline would be. It just feels like this is a thing we do.
This is where we got our segment of Darby Allin honestly looking like he was dead in that bed. I mean, he looked fucking all the things he's been through. He looked like he was fucking dead. Another C2 match. Kyle Fletcher defeated Kevin Knight in a tremendous match. I mean, I thought he was going to be, you know, Kevin Knight's really good. When he was announcing this, I was like, nice little opportunity for him in like what was like the Brody King role initially, like lose all your matches, have some nice little matches. But he has big time shined. Obviously, he got the big upset win on Darby, which was good for him. But then like just 2 absolute home run matches. Now, obviously, Kyle Fletcher, one of the best going today, so it's not like that's a challenge, but this really feels like it's not just going to be a nice little thing for a Knight to be in this. It feels like his stock is up big time 2 weeks in on this.
Yeah.
So that then led us to a Don Callis family segment. They were in the ring just doing the usual fucking Callis stuff. The Jacksons came out. And a brawl ensued. They were jumped by the family. Callis was getting in on it. Callis was
the eye gouge,
doing this big fucking 19 Dickety 2 territories thing where he licked his finger and then stuck it in Matt Jackson's eye.
No,
really over the top. Anyway, after both of Matt Jackson's eyes were ripped out and used to choke him to death, Kenny Omega's music came out, and then when it crescendo to the correct point, Kenny Omega, in his Laundry Day Christmas jumper outfit, very slowly walked out to the ring. Kevin Nash, sauntered out to the ramp and eventually saved his friends. Absolutely no rush whatsoever. I'll tell you what as well. This might be Cornette or Alvarez level nipping. I could have done without the Christmas jumper. I'm sorry. He's coming out to save his friends.
Yeah,
and he's wearing the Home Alone fucking his own merch, but it's his Christmas ugly jumper. Oh man, it's like this guy. Like it's the story of his career. But you'll watch his entrance when he's doing like the 70-minute match with Okada and go fucking. Wow, look, and then you'll see segments like this. I'm like, how is this the same guy? And I don't even think it's an age or an injury thing, because he always, even in his prime, he always had stuff like this where he's just, I don't know, is it an instincts thing or he just doesn't know? He'll just do these little run-ins where he just does not protect his aura at all. He's been a zilch since he came back, in my opinion. Just a guy coming out making saves, not looking fussed about it. Yeah. So there you go.
I don't mind the Christmas jumper, but he could have at least come out and like tore it off.
yeah. A bit of gusto on the run in would have been nice. Babes of Wrath.
I mean, notable in that though. Sorry, you did have Okada raid the books, so that alignment is definitively
yes,
done.
Yeah.
I did like that Kenny waited for like Jurassic Express to go out first. You guys go, and if you can't do it, give me a minute. I eat my dinner. If I can finish this chicken, then I'll be out.
Yeah.
What's he waiting for? Was it when Don Callis family tap dancing all these guys' heads before Kenny goes, right, fucking go on, I'll come out then. Why not? Bibs of Wrath then.
Babes of Wrath pre-tape, just ready for anyone in the finals. There you go. Then we had this is cornet of me, but I mean, one of the semi-finals is a gimmick match where they're breaking shit over each other's heads and stuff like that. Like, I know the shit. I know the ship has sailed on this being like a sports-like presentation, but I'll continue to harp on this stuff because I thought the 4-way was a stupid idea, and I think one match in this tournament arbitrarily being a gimmick match, probably because they were just like, the episode of TV is a little bit soft. Let's just add some shit in there to make it look a bit spicier. I also thought this match was a huge disappointment. Did not live up to what I was hoping for when I saw. It was like Tony and Mina. Mina's good. I don't think she's amazing, but Tony's great. Tony's great in a weapons match. We've seen Bane and Shafir absolutely shine in these matches. Didn't do it for me. Christmas, fucking chairs wrapped in Christmas paper. Candy cane. Oh my God, it's so funny.
I mean, we use WWE as a
pejorative
point of comparison. Say this was shit, right? As a pejorative. But this was specifically the stuff that they do WWE that annoys me. That's like too lame. Like,
yeah, and like barbed wire candy cane thing.
That's what I'm saying. That kind of stuff. Just if you're going to do a death match, just have me a death, And we were talking last week, guys, about Swerve's return, and that I think Barry, you had made a point that I would have maybe left Nana in the past, just put Swerve back in his own. We said, well, look how good Tony Storm's been doing without.
We jinxed it. We jinxed. I mean, I firmly. Hating Christmas, to use a seasonal. I never liked Luther. I never thought it was funny. People, even before the Tony thing, people were so irony poisoned, acting like he was great banter or crack or whatever because Jericho brought in his useless friend. The guy gets like one spot a quarter. He's done like grand total of 3 spots this year, and he fucks up the thing where he comes out with the present and obviously wasn't sure he had to punch his middle finger through the box or was waiting for Marina to rip it off. So they just very awkwardly fumble over this fucking gift for what felt like an eternity. So God, it was rubbish. It was fucking crap, and it was the finish to this match, which was also not very good. This tournament has been a massive letdown. A massive
shite.
And I think the saving grace would be if you do something interesting and you put it on a new team. I think we talked about when they announced the brackets, like, okay, you put it on Tony, main eventer, fair enough. That makes sense. But how this tournament has played out and how much of a dud it's been, I if it wasn't already the plan, I would definitely change course and do Willow and Harley, just because that would have a bit of zest to it. That would make you feel like, oh, we got something interesting out of it. But as I said last week, I think I said last week I was making the argument for Bane and Shafir to win, so we can just get Willow out of this and just get her back into the world title scene. What a dud tourney. I mean, it's been. I
feel based on the way the results have been going, that Willow and Harley is probably the likelier result.
Yeah. They're having Tony and Mercedes. They're having them make some new people, which I think is good after a couple of years on top. I like the people trying to spin this narrative that Mercedes is out there hoganing all these things. And then she lost to Red Velvet in Ring of Honor 2 nights ago, which is not exactly Goldberg in the Georgia Dome, but so we'll see where this goes. Statlander and Hayter challenged Sisters of Sin for Cardiff, and then they alluded to the two of them having a match after the Sisters of Sin are dispatched, which I think would be good.
Yeah.
Going back to the theme of this show, retreading shit that I personally didn't even really like in real time. Dark Order bumps into Hangman. You cannot... All this shit they did with mustachioed evil heel main eventer Hangman and all that edge they gave him and all that great shit they did with him made him such a cool justified villain that he looped back around to being everyone's hero, and then right back into this Omega-esque aura destroying thing of having him just... I don't care if he was dismissing them, he just these jabrones. I mean, so the ops called him out earlier, doing this thing where we're gonna get at Hangman by beating up his AEW dark pals. I mean, like, it's crap. It's fucking crap. I have no use for... Hangman's peak was as the fucking the Magnum TA looking lone rider.
This is what I said when at All In. when Hanger came out and the mustache was gone and the full beard was back, I was the lone voice saying, I do not want him going backwards to the character he was before the mustache era. It does feel a little bit like that's what's happened. I don't like totally say
no. They kind of tried to make it look as though it was not a complete recession, but yeah,
it's just AEW not. We just probably mentioned 3 segments in a row about this, but it's AEW not booking people as stars. Mm-hmm. And mingling them with lower card acts that are like comedy, but not Dark Order. Yeah. Who else did we say? Kenny Omega in the Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's also a Swerve and Nana. There's also a Swerve thing on this show, or maybe last week, that was like, don't have your big star. You wouldn't see Roman Reigns doing whatever he was doing. It's just, I really think
that legendary Steve Austin and the Mean Street Posse.
That is the biggest fundamental difference with AEW. It's just got to present the stars as stars. Just really, really, really wish that's a lesson they can learn for next year. I don't think they will, but it'll make a huge difference.
And it's frustrating because we were just talking as well about they were just coming out of a period with Hangman where you had that. You had him shed all that stuff, and it was some of the best stuff he ever did. But alas...
This was like John Silver's first match on TV this year, by the way.
It's the other thing as well, we're talking about
this on TV.
We always make fun of like how they'll pull people out of mothballs and just randomly give them, like Riho just getting a TBS title shot. It's like, can you not try a little bit and without drawing attention to them, casually reintroduce these people back into TV, get them some wins, and get a title shot. Like it's a bit like the classic WWE trope, which this company has also done multiple times. Person shows up in a vehicle for the first time. And makes a big deal out of it. It's like, that's getting destroyed. That's the whole point of that. The Dark Order are getting mentioned for the first time, and it's like, okay, they're getting killed on this show. It's all very perfunctory, I
mean, Dark Order are fine. I like Dark Order, but they're not on TV ever.
They're not on TV ever, and it's not main event stuff.
And don't talk to me about Ring of Honor. Don't talk to me about Ring of Honor.
No, don't talk to us about that. Got a couple of pre-tapes here. Monet calling out Red Velvet, FTR calling out the Bang Bang Gang. We had the trios non-title thing where the Ops squashed the Dark Order, ended in a schmoz with Hangman coming out to chase off the heels. Yeah. Then AEW decided to set the record straight with the haters and the losers about Kazuchika Okada's 3 titles. Right? Renee goes up to the Callis family. She's like, Don, why won't you have Okada defend all his belts in the Continental Classic? Right? And I remember when people were arguing when this unified thing happened, I just didn't even care. I don't even think we talked about it on the show. I just didn't have the energy to, because they introduced a thing called the unified title, which isn't just it's also a new physical belt. But Okada was keeping the other 2, and Tony Khan had said that, well, the other 2 will still be around. And I think like a lot of other people had assumed, he's keeping them around as props. Like, he's the guy. Look at these 3 fucking belts. There's one title, but he has the 3 belts. No. Right? So obviously, as we know, the Continental title has been surrendered for the purposes of this classic. And Renee's like, why isn't he also defending the others? And Don Callis basically says that All In, when Okada beat Omega, he won both the titles. And why would I have him defend the international title when he's not obligated to in the C2? Which I was like, okay, I kind of get that if they are all separate. And then he had some line, I don't have the exact verbiage on it here. Let me see if it's in the the AEW website write-up says, Callis said he'd make it simple and explain how the international title and continental title came together to form, which I think is an important word, the AEW United Championship. Not unified, United Championship. In the pro,
it is the Unified Championship. It's not United.
Oh, well, they got it wrong on the website then.
Did that Taz write it? Did he?
Maybe he did. But he said, he beats Omega, he gets both titles, and then I wish I could remember the word. He's like, and then he was then rewarded with the unified title. So Callis's verbiage almost made it sound like the unified title is like an FTW style thing, where Okada won't defend it, although he has. But it's basically like it's symbolic of the fact that he won that match with Omega. That's what he made it sound like. Now this website write-up, it sounds contradictory because they say he won the 2 titles, came together to form the unified or United Championship. So they this very much felt like them being annoyed at this this inconsistency. I came out of this with less answers than I went in with.
This was nonsense. His explanation made no sense. It was just gibberish. You know, it's like when you see a video of someone trying to explain like the time travel in Back to the Future or something.
It doesn't matter. It's like if Takeshita wins the C2, he just gets the Continental title. That's fine. But what then is the unified title just a trinket to represent the fact that Okada won both the titles? Does that then disappear into the ether until someone else wins both of them? Does he then go back to defending the international title? Like it's honestly, I kind of forgotten that he had a third belt that was called the unified title. Although again, he has defended that. It's very odd. Hangman called out the Ops. There you go. And then the main event was Claudio Castagnoli upsetting Jon Moxley in the main event of Dynamite. This match was awesome. This was a gnarly, hard hitting match between two lads that are just absolutely on fire at the moment. I mean, as someone
Moxley had a very good week.
He had a great week, and as someone who was very skeptical of him about a year ago, not just the creative of the Death Riders, but I was like him as a wrestler. I was like, are we saying is it starting to fall apart a little bit? I mean, it's not hitting for me like it used to, but he's turned it around, and these were just two extremely high level matches. And the finish of this one, I think it was the right thing to do given the current storyline with him. You know, Claudio puts him away pretty convincingly without any qualification. So yeah, really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I was thinking, were we going to have some sort of that storyline kind of post-match where the Death Riders would, not necessarily something obvious, but maybe they're checking on Claudio and not really checking on Moxley, and Moxley looking at him, some kind of little tease without necessarily doing anything overt. They really didn't do anything here. So, who knows? Yeah,
kind of in keeping with all our praise for the C2, they've kind of kept the shite minimal, Collision as well. Mox lost, and they just kind of showed the Death Riders coming out. They did not over egg it and do this big thing where they all came out and stood around him and looked sad. They didn't over egg it, which I thought was good. A very mixed Dynamite. The C2 stuff was great, and certainly reading back over it, I don't even think I'd call the non-C2 stuff mixed. To be honest, it was pretty bad.
Shite.
Yeah, they need to get together. Now, I will say that Collision from last night was, I thought, generally much better. I thought the non-C2 stuff I thought was like not annoying for the most part.
What I saw of it was the Triller feed went down for about 25 minutes.
That's annoying.
Speaking of streaming networks,
another one that somehow still exists. I don't know how.
When can we get a little deal with someone else to
do
AEW shows somewhere else? Come on.
Yeah, I'm
I'd pay for ITVX if they put them like live on there. Yeah, I fuck it.
That's the thing. It's not just that their trailer has AEW. It's like they have it live every time there's a bonus show, like a Battle of the Belts or anything. They just have it, and it's on demand instantly. Like as I don't like the app or the service really at all, but like on a basic level, it fucking has everything, so you stick with it. But I don't like it at all. Collision opened with Cassidy defeating Roderick Strong for his he was coming in on 3 points, so was he?
No,
this was 0. They're both on 0, so Cassidy gets his first 3, so there you go. This is really good stuff. Again, the classic Roderick thing of messing aside. He worked this just like a Roderick Strong match, backbreakers and chops and putting Cassidy through his paces, and the heat was really good. This was from Galaxy Con, which they did last year.
Yes.
Definitely noticeably a small building. You wouldn't kid yourself. The place they were in Dynamite and I thought was pretty cool looking. Look, you could trick yourself into thinking they were in like an NBA. This is small, but the crowd were great. On this Collision. Really, really strong opener.
Yeah, I do get a reminder every now and then that I actually like Roderick Strong. Once he's in the ring and not arguing with Tomohiro Ishii about playing the piano or whatever, then I'm into it.
I mean, it is very Vince-like that we have this guy that's just he's just been work rate man for 20 years and had plenty of success as it. Has had tons of success, very well regarded wrestler, can be a utility guy in a tag team, an enhancement guy, or even he's been, world champ. He's super talented. He's super versatile. And what's he done in this company? Rochachos, Adam, don't trust Max with Orange. I'm not in your state. Come on, like, is this what this guy is doing? And he's not. We're like 2 years deep in this guy's run as well. This is where we got the Jack Perry announcement. Literally, you can hear people booing.
I was booing.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Got the Darby promo. The Darby promo was good. The
Darby promo was very Moxley-esque.
Yeah,
he was rambling,
pacing,
push-ups at one point. But he kind of didn't really say a lot of anything in the end. Who knows? Who knows what's next for Darby? Was the gist of it.
Yeah.
I didn't come away kind of understanding what the point was.
Yeah, I suppose they probably just threw it together with the relative quickness of the injury news.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good FTR Bang Bang Gang back and forth.
This is great. Sorry, this is great because of all the lame stuff we complain about and all the overthinking of stuff we complain about, this was a good, simple heels and faces promo.
Yeah.
Kept to the basics. Real solid. Real reliable. No frills. And so it stood out like a sore thumb as like being great when probably was like good, but like, more of this kind of stuff is what I want.
It was very bread and butter, wasn't it? It was just, there was nothing. FTR came out and they were hated, and Stokely was chatting and they were booed, and FTR, despite as great as they are, what's really great about them is they're getting that heat where it has not yet descended into like ironic enjoyment where everyone's like loving them and cheering them, like people love booing them, like actually booing them. And some solid stuff here, and of course they made plenty of hay out of the fact that the Bang Bang Gang had pinned FTR and stuff like that. So keeping it nice and simple. Good stuff here there. That is for Cardiff, I believe, or is that Winners Coming America? No, it's in the UK. It's in the UK.
In the UK, and Juice and Austin Gunn were very good.
Very good. Yeah,
charismatic and looked like they belonged.
Yeah.
Death Riders accepted the TNT challenge. We had a bit of a through line here in the C2. Claudio's Achilles heel, the Luchadors, fell to Mascara Dorada again. I mean, this is Claudio's wheelhouse in here. Catching a spectacular flippy man. A brilliant guy to stand opposite a high flyer like Dorada. Really great stuff. Claudio, obviously the CMLL world champion, I know as well.
Yes.
So the CMLL and New Japan world champions
are in.
AEW.
AEW just put out a graphic actually like the world's champions, and they include Ring of Honor in those graphics, which is a bit funny. Yeah.
That is cool. That if we should do Takeshita, Claudio, and Samoa Joe 3-way. Just
like a fucking great match.
Why did they not include Mercedes Polish Wrestling World Championship?
Yeah, they should have had like 14 Mercedes graphics on the thing. That would have been.
They released the women's one as well, but just for CMLL. What was the Ring of Honor's?
Ring of Honor and
CMLL. It's like, okay,
yeah, not as many.
Who's the CMLL women's?
Mercedes.
Mercedes is.
Oh, it is Mercedes. Okay. Yeah. This was the match, by the way, I didn't get to see. I saw the last
Power Rangers match. That's annoying.
Came back and then the match ended like immediately, basically.
Yeah, this is really good stuff. Yeah, this is what's interesting about the C2 is again, we mentioned earlier how they haven't done a draw yet. They've kind of stuck to their guns. They've had a bunch of really interesting results. I feel like there might be a draw coming at some stage, but yeah. Anyway, Shivani sat down with the Timeless Love Bombs and the Babes of Wrath. This was mostly fine, although it ended with them cheersing, and it had that classic wrestling thing of the camera stuck on them for way too long afterwards while they sat in silence.
Mm-hmm.
It was all right. Tony talked about how obviously they're more than just teammates, and Willow cut a little bit more of a kind of straightforward babyface promo.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a through line of Tony Storm quite heelishly, but kind of big leaguing the other two by saying, hey, I've beaten the two of you already. You've never beaten me. I think there was a little too much Willow and Harley, like, aw shucks.
Yeah.
We're just happy to be here. You know, I would like to see a little bit of fire from them. Sure, look, we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that match goes. That is Dynamite or Collision?
Winter is coming. Dynamite. Yeah.
Dynamite. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Winter is coming is weird. Yeah. Because obviously Dynamite is in Atlanta. Winter is coming, and then they're going to Cardiff for Collision. So there you go. Swerve came out and was pretty quickly interrupted by Josh Alexander. You know, a little bit of an opportunity for Alexander. Obviously, he's kind of the lost post for the Callis family. Yeah, give him a little bit of time to get a little bit of heat. I thought he did pretty good. This was long. I felt like he was good, but this was long. This is a pretty lengthy segment to set up him losing to Swerve on next week's TV. But you know, he did well. And again, I think it's good for these like second tier guys in the faction to also get a little bit of heat and get their
Shibata was involved here as well,
and then Shibata jumped him. Yeah.
So I guess we get a Swerve Shibata match at some point as well before the Joe, whatever they do with Joe.
Yeah. Swerve pointed out that he beat Joe for his world title previously as well. They teased that Monet is starting to lose it a little bit in her interview since she lost to Red Velvet.
Yeah. 6 Point Monet was here though.
6 Point Monet did defeat Layla Gray. Pretty basic match.
I mean, I'll tell you how basic this was, or at least how she's perceived. Layla's Gray is misspelled on the F4W online. Misspelled multiple times as well.
It's probably misspelled here on the AEW website as well, if I was to check.
It's they have it with a Y here instead of an I. Leila. You fucking idiots. Pay attention.
Yeah, there was a very, very basic match. Very basic match. Mercedes also kicked Daniels in the balls after this, which was funny.
She also did a Curry Man.
Did she?
She was in the corner. She did.
That's great. Free ball knowledge.
Tastes great.
Eddie Kingston did a solid enough little promo before Winter's coming. Again, retreading old ground. Eddie talking about Joe and like how the young guys, but what are the young guys supposed to think about the way you act? You know, heard that one a million times in this. Then we got the Triangle of Madness recreating the Christian Scott Steiner TNA gif from many years ago, where Scott Steiner threw himself into the stairs. Triangle of Madness were beating up the women's locker room, and one of them, I don't even know who it was getting their head thrown into like
Maya World.
Was it Maya World? Yeah, she was getting her head thrown into a travel case and did it an additional time. And then, like it's so cringy in the middle of the backstage beatdown angle. They do their Sisters of Sin shining. Use your shitting, girls. Thing to do the to look into the camera and say the Sisters of Sin are gonna fucking kill you or whatever the fuck. Oh no, the Sisters of Sin come for the win. Oh,
terrible.
I mean, terrible dialogue as well. To cut them some slack, if you're going to have them do this spooky thing, come for the win. It's rubbish.
That's something you have on an Anthony Bowen's t-shirt.
Yeah, it's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish.
And they were screaming like, "Where is she? Where is she?"
Oh, they were looking for Jamie Hayter, I guess it was.
And then they just went to the camera, Sisters of Sin for the win. And Tech went, "Yeah, bitches, well that." I was like, what was this segment supposed to be?
Yeah, I would.
Horrible.
I liked the idea of Tekla having some lackeys that could take her losses and stuff. As someone who's very high on Tekla, I'd get her these two. I think this is crap. I think this is, Tekla does feel special because she doesn't wrestle super often, and they're kind of the ones. But I don't think that's worth it. I think I would separate her from these two and just have her be her own person, because this is death. This stuff.
Also, there was when the thing opened up the segment, it was a Sky Blue who was like shaking someone all crazily, and it was like silly.
Oh yeah.
It was comedic, like
schoolyard, like
someone was going, "Oh
God, it was bad." Yeah. Ricochet defeated Ace Austin in the first national championship. He defended it in Ring of Honor. So it's, again, they're trying to do this thing where this. Again, considering Dynamite had a segment where they're like, "Oh, the international title is still a thing." By the way, they're kind of doing the original international title gimmick with Ricochet in this. So he defended Ring of Honor, and here he was again in AEW, defending it. Good match.
Very similar to the match they had when Ice Austin debuted.
Yeah. And then we had like an FTR Bang Bang Gang.
FTR beat him down because Ice Austin is in the Bang Bang Gang, of course.
And that led to the previously alluded to Moxley Takeshita match, which was absolutely tremendous. I mean, it was a different kind of match. It was a really focused, old-fashioned Takeshita beating the shit out of the leg match, and just insanely great selling from Mox.
Reminded me of that Suzuki Tanahashi match from whenever that would have been, where they were just fucking selling the legs the whole time. Like, tremendous stuff.
Speaking of Tanahashi, we did have a... they go outside the ring, right? And Takeshita starts touching the announce table and it collapses, right?
The spot where the thing collapses.
Yeah.
And I said out loud, fucking throw him on it anyway, Takeshita.
Yeah. And what did he do? He hit him with a Blue Thunder bomb on like the one piece of the table that was standing upright. It looked like it fucking sucked to take that. John Mox was like, fuck, I wish that thing didn't explode. But also, he probably knew it looked class. And then they did the 9.9999 tease with Moxley getting back in the last second. Incredible near fall where Moxley gets the paradigm shift and Takeshita gets the rope. Really great stuff. And then they were, because Moxley was retaliating on Takeshita's leg, so they both did a lot of kind of going for spots, and then the leg gives out. Takeshita finally hit the knee. And then the Raging Fire to get the pinfall.
Moxley's sell on that last knee as well. Very good. This
was an excellent match. Yeah,
it's not to the
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and that was Collision. Collision better than Dynamite this week for sure. One of the breezier collisions you'd ever watch. I mean, just really flew.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's segue over to our various other forms of entertainment. Who has watched a movie this week?
Joe, tell us. Good, that new Catherine Bigelow joint is.
Yeah, so of either, it's called House of Dynamite. It's on Netflix. Have either of you seen this, heard of it, or got any desire?
I've heard of it. It's the latest Catherine Bigelow war movie, I believe.
It's hard to critique it without kind of spoiling it, to be honest, because the thing that's wrong with it is very inherent to what happens in the film. But essentially, it's like, it's set in a war room where a missile is being fired at a major American city, and they don't know, okay, is this real? Who's shooting this? Is this going to happen? How do we... They're kind of reacting in real time. It's a very kind of 24-like, actually.
Right.
In terms of like the shaky cam style, it's very 2000s as well. Like it kind of looks like an episode of 24 or The Office. And it's this premise, kind of almost like a one-room thing, at least in the first act, of like, shit, this is happening. Is it happening? We're not sure what to do. We're getting people on calls. So actually the first act, the first third of this kind of 2-hour movie is really quite tense and enjoyable.
Yeah.
The whole... is this a spoiler? I don't know. Like the concept is it shows the same thing from different perspectives, right? So the problem except the concept of Rashomon is you see different things happening from different perspectives.
People see things differently.
In this, it's exactly there's no difference between it's literally the same thing 3 times. And so after the first one, you're like, oh God, what's going to happen? Is the bomb going to blow up? Is the missile going to happen? Is it real? Blah, 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 blah. Then you just see it again from someone else's perspective. And you're like, well, I already know what's going to happen here. I'm not interested. And then they do it again, except with Idris Elba as the president, looking incredibly bored. It looks like the Undertaker at an NBA match. He's just like turned up, does his lines, and it's like, I think you could do something like that if you're really invested in the characters, and it's like, oh my God, I want to see these characters in this situation. But you're not. It's kind of really generic. It's got really good actors. It's got Rebecca Ferguson, Jared Harris, Idris Elba. Really good supporting cast as well. But God, it's so disappointing when you get to the end and you realize that, they've just done this same thing 3 times. So I was so frustrated with it. It's the angriest I've been watching a film all year.
Jeez.
In several years, to be honest.
Presumably you only do that style so that you can glean new information.
That's what you think. Like, oh, are they going to reveal that, like, the president's aide is actually in on it or something?
Yeah,
Like,
this person is talking
this
to people.
person actually knew what's happening. No, it's kind of like watching a Zoom call, but from 3 different, like, people's perspectives on the Zoom. Like, that's it, really. So I can't, in all conscience, recommend wasting 2 hours of your life watching that. And even the kind of, it's kind of interesting in that we're in this scenario where you've got these states, like, and they specifically call out Russia, like, in the thing. It's not like Top Gun where they don't name.
They make up a country.
They specifically talk about Russia and North Korea, and it's kind of true to life in that sense. And so I guess it's interesting in that we are at a moment where there's a war going on, and there's this kind of Cold War as well. But it's just not really interesting enough to. It's not like Threads or some kind of incredibly tense war movie where you feel like genuinely, the world's going to end and people are kind of, getting their affairs in order. And everyone's got like a picture of their fucking daughter in their wallet. And like, oh my God, my daughter lives in Chicago. So I don't care. I could not care less if your daughter lives in Chicago, mate. Sorry. So I watched that. And then on the flip side, I watched Tony Khan's favorite movie. I had never seen this before, despite my love of time travel, and so it was on Now TV. So I popped it on. I have to say, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's got Jean-Claude Van Damme in it, and he plays a time cop who polices time travel. That is exactly what you promised, exactly what you get. It is the most 90s movie I've ever seen. Like, it is exactly what you'd expect from a 90s action film starring a man whose acting skills are probably somewhere 3 rungs below Dolph Lundgren and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But it was quite entertaining. I really enjoyed like the first few scenes where it kind of sets up this idea of the time travel and what it's about. Like, it's does it really nicely. And it's a 90s movie, so it's full of like, it's kind of like RoboCop-esque in terms of the effects. Like, it's got some of the CGI and special effects are a bit naff, given, it's quite dated, but a lot of like physical stuff as well. Like Jean-Claude Van Damme's doing all the physical stuff, the martial arts kind of inspired stuff, a lot of physical effects, and just a really kind of interesting, kind of slightly grimy, gritty use of effects rather than just bland CGI. Like, everything looks flat and the same. So I quite enjoyed it. I mean, it does get, it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it delivers what it promises, and it is entertaining enough. It's not really a spoiler because it's right at the beginning, but my favorite part is how they introduce the concept of time travel, which is they have a meeting at in Congress in America with like a bunch of senators, and this guy comes in, he's like, so we had one of our top research scientists has been working on this top secret project. And they're like, oh, what's this Buffin been working on? And he's like, well, he's been working on time travel. And they're like, oh, what's this, Star Wars? He's like, well, actually, he's cracked it. And that's how they set up the concept of time travel in this movie. There's no backstory. There's no like half hour of we established the science of time travel. This guy just comes into the room and says, we now have time travel. We need to start a police force for time travel. And then they get on with it. And I'm like, yes, this is what more movies need. Just have 2 lines of dialogue that set the thing up. I don't care. I don't need a backstory. Just get on with the Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the splits and shooting someone. That's what we need. So yeah, I would heartily recommend Timecop to anyone that hasn't seen it. Very enjoyable.
I've been meaning to check it out in all its time as a Tony Khan meme. Paul, what have you seen this week?
Just the one. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I've
never seen this one.
Vacation movies. It's my first time. I've seen some of the National Lampoon more parody style movies. They did a Lethal Weapon parody called Loaded Weapon Part 1, which is quite funny actually. It's Sam Jackson and Emilio Estevez, I think. But Christmas Vacation, one of those ones that you hear a lot about, one of the American Christmas hallmarks, I feel like. And, Chevy Chase in his heyday. Again, haven't seen Vacation or I think there was a second Vacation they did. It's funny enough, I would say. It's strange because it has a lot of not a lot of score throughout. A lot of the scenes play out to a natural kind of silence when the characters aren't speaking, which makes it feel like you're watching. When you see on Twitter or in YouTube or on the TikToks probably these days, where people do an edit of Friends with the laughter track taken out.
Right.
Yeah. There's a bit like that where something funny will happen, but then it'll just be silence afterwards. That's the bit where I'm
like British sitcoms where they did a movie version and there's no laughter track. It just feels very strange because there's hanging air where you never laugh, and it's no one says anything.
Well, this has a bit of that. I do think it kind of starts slow but gets better in the second half as it gets going. I don't know whether you need to have seen the other ones in terms of setting up the family dynamic, because it doesn't give you a lot of that. You kind of just jump in and, hey, these are the characters. So I
don't think it's just dad, wife, and kids.
Dad, wife, and the kids. And the daughter is Juliette Lewis, which is interesting. And the son would go on to be in one of the guys in Big Bang Theory. So a lot of comedy chops here, I guess. But it was, it was pretty good. There was parts of it where I thought, this isn't really working for me. And then parts of it later where, kind of some bits were funny. But it's not the most cohesive comedy I've seen this year. Okay. It's a little all over the place, a little bit scattergun, but the bits that work, and the bits that don't. And like I say, it has this strange, now it's the kind of movie you would expect to have a Home Alone style John Williams Christmassy score to it, and it just has basically no score. It's, and Badalamenti is his name? Is that the guy's name? The same guy who did the music for Twin Peaks does the score for this movie. Badalamenti, yeah. So if you've seen Twin Peaks has, again, kind of a muted kind of score to it.
Yeah.
So again, you're not getting, like I say, a John Williams-y score that you might expect from a Christmas
family
comedy. Yeah, family comedy. Well, funny enough, 3.5 stars, somewhere in that range.
Alrighty. I saw some films this week. I only saw one Christmas film, and I watched it on stream. I watched Santa's Sleigh, starring almost Observer Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg. It's came out in 2005. This is the most 1995 feeling movie ever in its kind of the way it looks and feels and its sense of humor. It's not even 90 minutes long, which is to its credit. It opens, first of all, this is absolutely littered with character actors and it's full of, it's him moments, right? There's a surprising amount of people in it. One of the main girls is apparently in Lost, Emily DeRavin, I don't know.
Emily DeRavin, yeah.
DeRavin,
Claire in Lost. She's the Australian girl. Maybe Charlie.
I butchered that, obviously. Yeah. Saul Rubinek from Succession and a bunch of other things. Frasier. A bunch of other kind of character actors are in it. James Caan has a cameo in the prologue. Basically, see, I thought so. The prologue of the movie is James Caan is having family Christmas dinner, and they're all the most annoying, like rich people. But they're annoying, but also the movie is annoying because their voices are all so cloying and they're arguing, and it's just they're in this fancy opulent house, and James Caan is like the alcohol. These fucking kids! I hate my fucking family. And Goldberg busts through their wall like the Kool-Aid Man and murders all of them gratuitously.
Jackhammer.
And I was like, unfortunately, not. In the very last second of the film, in a post-credit scene, he says, "Who's next?" That's the only. Actually, sorry, no, I tell you, he does spear Saul Rubinek, who runs a deli. Goldberg jumps through the deli counter and spears him. So that he murders those people very gratuitously in the opening. I was like, is this going to be he's like an anti-hero thing? It's not really. It's basically there's a very bad young actor who's the love interest of that girl I mentioned. He's the protagonist, and he kind of has to survive the night while Santa is hunting him. So Santa is a villain in this. One through line this film has with a lot of other Christmas films: Elf, Krampus. It has a decently animated stop motion section around the halfway point where they explain the lore of Evil Goldberg Santa. Very, very much like Krampus. It's very much like Krampus, but the stop motion is a little bit more old school looking. It's watchable enough. If you're curious about it and you want to watch some schlock, it's okay, but it's not like, I would not race to add this to your Christmas list. Non-Christmas films, I saw 2 films. I watched Good Boy, the indie horror film that was making some waves earlier in the year. That's from the perspective of a dog is the elevator pitch of it. Without that premise, does it have a whole lot going on? Not really. Does it feel kind of indie? Does it feel a little amateurish? Maybe. But another sub 90-minute film here. Pretty easy watch. And one thing I did like about it, the dog is very good. It's a very cute dog, very well trained dog. It's not like an over the top, it does tricks and it like closes the door to keep the monsters out type thing. They do a good job. Obviously, it probably was a fucking nightmare to film because even if it's well trained, it's still a dog. They do a good job at making the dog behave like an actual dog and not like Air Bud, right? So he's not like fighting monsters. No slam dunks, no karate combos on it. And it is kind of very much about the owner's bond to the dog. And so you're watching, the owner is the one like battling like a possession, for lack of a better term. And the dog is just kind of perceiving it as best he can. And you don't hear his thoughts or anything like that. It's not, they pretty much just shoot it as if he is the protagonist. It's very well done. It's not any kind of super memorable or special horror movie other than that, but I think it's worth a watch if you've seen this promoted and you're kind of curious about it. It's a pretty easy watch. Then the last thing I watched, I would give a much more thorough thumbs up to than those previous. So I watched Sovereign with Nick Offerman and little, although not so little anymore, Jacob Tremblay of Room, and he was in one of those What If Kids Said Bold Words movies like 2 years ago, a couple of years ago. Sovereign is based on a true story. I'm reading up afterwards, a pretty accurate retelling based on what I read. Basically about Offerman's character is a sovereign citizen. Nick Offerman just plays right-wing cranks. That is exclusively what Nick Offerman plays, all the way from fucking Ron Swanson through to The Last of Us, through to this. If you've never seen like a sovereign citizen like video on TikTok or YouTube, it's a real phenomenon that happens in, can I shock you, America, where people, basically a subsect of like libertarians think that through their own kind of concocted legalese and terminology, that they can basically kind of get their way out of any citizen because the government doesn't actually govern them. They have no actual authority over them. The bank can't claim money from them. There's a through line in so basically he's a sovereign citizen, and the movie is very much him indoctrinating his like 15-ish-year-old son, Jacob Tremblay, into his mindset, and the son kind of peering outside at normal people living their normal lives and kind of looking fondly on that and kind of wishing he could have some semblance of a life because their house is being foreclosed on. Like the dad is just kind of like, have I received anything from the bank? Because he basically just doesn't answer the door. And he's one of the people, well, unless they hand me this thing, I have not formally received it. They have, again, if you've ever watched any of these videos online, there's a scene in this movie using the verbiage verbatim where he's pulled over by a cop and then the cop's like, I need to see your license and registration since you're driving this vehicle. And the Offerman character is like, I am not driving this vehicle. I am in control of it while it is moving. I am not engaged in commerce. There's a scene where he's in court and they're like, I can't remember what the character's name. It's I think it's Roy. It's something Kane. I think it's Jim Kane or something like that. And he's like, are you Jim Kane? And he's like, I am the person who responds to that name, but I am not the legal entity of Roy Kane. These are all, you could watch hour-long compilations of this shit happening in real life on YouTube. And what I think is interesting is the movie does not shy away from the absurdity of that. And those scenes are not played for laughs, but they're also not played for laughs, I think is quite interesting about it. But it's also about kind of like so many mental subcultures in America. It's like you laugh at it and then there's this like seedy underbelly of the kind of the rot that's kind of there and how it is affecting other people's lives in real ways. He can go to court and make a buffoon of himself, but his house is actually being foreclosed on. His son doesn't have any actual life. He's of course homeschooled There's the kind of exciting incident that moves the plot forward is he's pulled over. He has this traffic stop. He doesn't cooperate because he doesn't think the cops have any legal right to detain him. He gets arrested. The kid gets put into social care, and he briefly goes to an actual school and interacts with other kids before his dad is released from custody, and then he goes back to homeschooling. And then the Tremblay character has had a taste of living a normal life, and the plot kind of goes from there. Two excellent performances on it. I've not seen Tremblay in anything since Room. He's been here and there doing stuff, but I thought he was very good in this. Offerman is fantastic. I mean, he's great in everything. This one's slightly over 90 minutes, but it's another one that's not too long. And I think despite the kind of farcical and somewhat insidious nature of the character, I don't think it delves too much into like silly stereotypes necessarily. Like the Offerman character is certainly not portrayed as pleasant, but the relationship with the son is depicted to be fairly earnest and sincere and wants the best for him. So they don't get too much into, again, it's quite a dour film. Like I said, there's certain scenes where I think they do kind of let the absurdity, they let you laugh at the absurdity, but they do really examine how kind of unpleasant this whole scene is, and it culminates in kind of an explosive scenario that I won't spoil here. Really good movie. I think, I can't remember where I think in my little list on Letterboxd, if it's not just barely in the top 10, it's probably just barely outside of it. Very good first time writer director, I think. Very gritty, very real feeling, great dialogue. 4 or 5 characters tops in terms of the ones critical to the plot. You have Dennis Quaid playing a cop who's kind of in their orbit. Really good, really good. I would recommend checking that one out. Sovereign, it's called. And that's it for me. Yeah, that's it for the movies for the week. On the telly, did we all catch up on the Chair Company finale?
We did.
Yep,
I did. What did you boys make of it?
Didn't know what happened, baby. What's that? What happened there? A man went to a thing, and then a man was a monster, and there was another man with a weird face. And the chairs didn't really come up.
No, I would have been disappointed if it had any other kind of ending, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a perfectly appropriate ending for the kind of show it is. But knowing that it got renewed for season 2, that was kind of my thing. I wanted this to be a one and done.
Yeah.
And I even floated the idea of doing, I don't remember if it was on here or when I was talking to people, the idea of doing Chair Company as an anthology series, different chair companies. So I was kind of hoping that this would have an ending. But actually, if even if it were a one and done, if this was the ending, for me, it would kind of have worked. In terms of being so wackily vague. So I guess we go on.
Yeah, you can't. I'm not disappointed at it. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm not expecting a resolution, so it's fine.
Yeah, I thought it peaked quite well. I thought I thought the second last episode was also very funny. I enjoyed the supposed reveal, even though there's more layers to it. Obviously, I think that we're going to get in a season 2. I really I thought it ended quite strong, and I'm whenever they get around season 2, I will be there. I'll be there for it.
Yeah.
I am not up on Pluribus. How was Pluribus this week? I haven't seen it yet.
It was fine. I mean, more advancements, more. Actually, wasn't that many. One main one, but kind of compared to episodes 4 and 5, I think 6 was a bit of a slower one.
Okay,
6 was kind of okay. We've showed some stuff now. Take a minute, take some breaths. We'll kind of go just reinforce what we've just covered, and then there's a little snip at the end that this is our next step forward.
Okay,
so still got a bit of momentum to it. It was fun. It was fine. So we only 3 left. I just saw it there. I think the finale is airing boxing / St. Stephen's Day. So December 26th will be the season finale. Okay. So if you're planning to watch it over the holidays, that's when the finale will be out. So if you do want to do a quick catch up beforehand to be there in time, that's when it will be. Two more for the rest before then. December 12th, December 19th, December 26th. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I'm yet to be fully engrossed by it, but I also don't watch it with disinterest as I have done a few of these shows this year, like an Alien Earth or shows like that, where I just sit and watch it and let it wash over me and turn it off, and then don't really have any opinion. I think Pluribus has more to it than that, for sure. There's still a slight feeling of being a little let down by virtue of it not being, to me, to the quality of Breaking Bad. But I think that's less the show's fault and more something in my head. But these last few episodes, I think, have been pretty good. I don't think we've had a great episode yet. But as the show goes on, I am becoming more and more invested.
Okay. Yeah, other telly stuff. I watched 2 more episodes of I Love LA, which I think I said 5 in total. I watched 3 and 4, which I was very much not engaged by the first 2 episodes. I will say I actually quite enjoyed the 3rd and 4th episode, so maybe it's a grower. My big issue with the first 2 was I didn't think they were especially funny, and I kind of thought it's going for one of those isn't everyone awful kind of premises, which I think your show has to be really funny to do that. It wasn't. I enjoyed episode 3 quite a lot. Episode 3 is basically, so for anyone who hasn't seen it, Rachel Sennett plays like an aspiring influencer manager type. She has a best friend she is somewhat estranged from, who is a very successful influencer. She comes back into her life. They shack up to do business together, but the influencer friend is very hard to deal with and annoying and so on and so forth. Episode 2 ends with her being quasi-cancelled, for lack of a better term. And episode 3 is her kind of spiraling and trying to deal with that. They have a very funny scene where Sennett's character goes to her marketing job and they have a PR crisis person in there, and that's a very funny scene. They're dissecting how nice does this Notes app screenshot apology have to be, and some of that's actually hits quite well. It's pretty sharp, pretty funny, pretty back and forth stuff there. And then I'll just spoil this one episode that I thought kind of made good on the premise of the show and how, you know, fake and annoying and shitty all these people in LA are. First half of the episode is this girl like spiraling and all this other stuff because she's being cancelled, and basically this other influencer she's feuding with, they find out that her family got their money from owning Rikers once upon a time, and so the end of the episode is them popping champagne bottles and celebrating because they get to do a cancellation at the episode and turn the tables on her and do a little takedown video, and that was kind of funny. And then episode 4 was a bit of a mixed bag, but I still overall enjoyed it. Elijah Wood in it, doing the easiest shorthand in the world, doing an extras-ification of himself in the show. Right. They go to a house party in his house. He's in his bedroom watching classic Simpsons, and it's as far as extras style bits go, it's pretty good. He's a watch movie clips on YouTube guy, so he's going on to his like Siri and saying super bad ID scene and watching movies that way rather than actually watching movies. That was cute enough. But I think the really great through line in that episode is the influencer meets up with a more successful influencer and tries to make a TikTok with her. But the more successful one has like a studio where they shoot their TikToks, where they try and act like they're doing it off the cuff and they're doing their little lip sync dances, but it's the most stressful, tense thing in the world. That hit quite as well. So I think the show is a little bit back with me. I enjoyed those 2 episodes quite a lot. Quite funny. A little bit more of the moment, a little bit more biting. I don't think I could have watched a full season of just like, you know, look at this long queue for this coffee shop and isn't everyone rude and on their phone and isn't it so fake? Everyone's talk. I needed a bit more bite than that. We've seen 10 million shows like that, you know, at this stage. But I thoroughly enjoyed 3 and 4, so I'm back in somewhat. Other than that, I just watched a bunch of Christmas telly, you know, Friends and Frasier, and haven't yet got to The Simpsons, but you know, the Christmas bits and bobs, nothing really of note there yet. How's Indiana Jones going on the video game console, Paul?
Baby. Well, if you like those movies, the good ones,
yeah,
is this the game for you? Wow, what a banger of a game it is. The score, every time the score comes in, something happens. I forget I'm playing a game. I think I'm in the movie. That score with Troy Baker's performance, as nailing it as a thing can be nailed.
More than most of the films. More than most of the films these days.
Certainly more than the last two films, which were stinky. This is conversely very, very good. I'll throw a comparison here. I'm doing main quest, obviously, but I'm also doing all the the various side quests are categorized.
Yes.
Various little. I'm doing the main side quests. I'm doing all of them because best game since Ghost of Tsushima for making the side quests feel important and enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing them because I want to see the next cutscene and I want to see the next revelation. And I feel like this is a game that, so many games, even games that I've enjoyed, I don't want to do side quests. I just want to mainline them. Death Stranding, forget it. I don't want to do the main. But this game, I did one or two of the side quests. These are brilliant. This is as good as the main game. So let me keep doing those. You meet a little character and you go on you meet a little professor. Oh, my little friend has been captured. You go and sort that out. And yeah, it's for me so far. I'm right at the end of the Vatican section, so I haven't quite finished that. Okay. I've got into the fountain. I'm down under there, so I've come to the end of the Vatican section. I feel like. I think for me, the game over delivering so far.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
I'm loving it. I think it's brilliant. So, my criticisms still hold. I still think the stealth doesn't work. You might as well not bother. Just run up and clobber people over the head with your big shtick or whatever. But otherwise, because this is the thing, like you try to be stealthy, and it does teach you early on. If you creep up behind one guy and bop him on the head, he'll get knocked out. But there's rarely one guy standing on his own. There's always like a guy across the way looking at him. So once you start fighting somebody, then a whistle gets blown, and next time you're fighting 15 guys.
Yeah,
and so it feels like pointless to do that. But just a little level layout again. Totally love the almost like a bordering on a Metroidvania feel of backtracking. Oh, but I've got this key now, so now I can go to that area I was in before and go underneath, where before I went up. Now I can go down, and there's whole little areas too. And yeah, again, doing the side quests lets the world kind of expand in that way. And even though the levels are huge, but you do realize, like the level in Hitman, was the Chongqing level?
Yes,
where it feels very small, but at the same time it just keeps going. Oh my God, this level is way bigger than it seemed. The Vatican level or Vatican area that I'm in definitely has that element to it where it just feels like it goes on forever, even though it's actually contained within this little box. Yeah, loving it. I'll probably play it for another half hour after we finish up here. It's definitely got into that when I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about playing it.
Oh wow, okay, good. Yeah,
mindset, which is the hallmark of a good game. So want to get it finished for Christmas because I do have a little Prezi under the tree. Ghost of Yotai.
Oh, very nice.
I'll be playing over the period. But for the time being, loving Indiana Jones. Loving it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And I think I mean, if you're really licking your plate clean there in the Vatican before you move on, which I've heard a lot of people doing, I think the rest of the game you'll be delighted with. I'm still working through.
Really enjoyed.
I'm still working through Bananza. Like I said last week, I think I'm way more enjoying it now. I think
once you've crossed that threshold.
You cross the threshold. You get all the abilities, and then you're like, because now, which I never thought I would do, but now I'm kind of like, I'll definitely go back to the earlier levels now that I have everything. Yeah. I haven't finished the main game yet, but like I'm definitely thinking, there's 100% like so much stuff I can now do back there. Yeah, it's great. It's great. All the music is great. It looks great, and
so you got to the resort layer. That's one of my favorites.
Yes, yeah. Which I kind of just. I did one or two of the little optional things there, and then I kind of moved on. But I'm definitely going to go back. It's great. Yeah, it's really clicking with me now, and it does open up, thankfully, and it does kind of. I've even seen some kind of optional like side bananas that are kind of like, like tax the brain a little bit. You got all these abilities, so use them. Really great. Really enjoying that. I would like to like you mentioned there. I don't know what's going to be under the tree, but I'd like to kind of get this done before Crimbo, so I can move on to whatever comes next. But thumbs up on
Bananza's great.
Bananza. Yeah, definitely the best reason to get a Switch to as it currently stands. Although I have not played Metroid. Obviously, I'm curious about that one.
I have bought Metroid for my brother, so I will be playing that as well.
Yeah, it seems like people are into it. It is the lowest rated one of the franchise. I did not realize that first one has like a 98 on like Metacritic. It is like one of the best reviewed games of all time.
What, Metroid Prime?
Prime 1, yeah.
Prime 1 is one of the best games of all time, for sure. Yeah,
I don't want to be that guy, but maybe I should at least play like Prime Remastered before I do 4. Fuck it. No, I'll just play 4. Probably worth playing anyway, but
I mean, okay, I don't want to... If my choice was play Prime Remastered first or just play Prime 4, I would just play Prime Remastered and I wouldn't play 4.
Okay.
The way that I would do that.
Okay.
But if you want to play the new game, I know it's be part of the conversation and all that, but I mean, Metroid Prime 1, play that, don't play that and fuck off 4.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I should do, regardless of whether or not I play 4, I feel like I should just play 1, but I
see that Indiana Jones is actually coming to Switch 2 also.
Oh, really?
Okay, so that's another reason for that one. I'm playing on Xbox. I did sign up for Game Pass for a month just to play, not Indiana Jones, but the new Football Manager, which I've also been playing.
Oh, is that on there? Oh, okay.
That is on there as well. So if you sign up for Game Pass, you can also avail of that. Get that for half price.
Yeah. So that's the game. So one other thing before we wrap up, I did quickly started to catch up on some 2025 albums, of which I've listened to nothing this year, more or less.
Anything good?
I've got a suite of recommendations for you. I enjoyed pretty much everything I listened to. I listened to the new Florence and the Machine. If you like Florence and the Machine, very good.
Mm-hmm.
More of the same would be reductive. It's a little bit it's still kind of bombastic in that way. Her songs are a little bit darker in tone, like lyrically and stuff like that. Familiar sounding, but with a little bit different. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I listened to the new Doja Cat, which was also very enjoyable. Again, if you like any of her previous stuff, you'll like this. Not reinventing the wheel, but a very kind of fun, funky, kind of almost retro-y kind of poppy R&B thing. Very, very good. I listened to, what else? There was a couple of others. I listened to Pink Panthers, the British pop hip hop kind of sensation. She's also like her own producer. And I had heard a couple of, Pink Panthers is one of these people like big on TikTok. You probably recognize a bunch of...
I know that one song. I know that one song.
You'd recognize the snippets and you'd go, and I was kind of like, I don't know if that's my type of music. It seems enjoyable enough. I listened to it and I didn't realize this was her thing. Because first of all, I didn't realize she was her own producer and that she makes all her beats and everything. In the most complimentary way, this album, which is, let me pull up the name here. I think it's her second or third album. I want to get the name right. It's just from this year. Fancy That is the album. And it's about like 35, 40 minutes long. It's very brief. It is the most early PS2 aesthetic album ever, / like Dreamcast / like late PS1. It's got a weird kind of British Euro dance pop, like turn of the century vibe to, which I did not realize was her vibe at all. It's a great album. I think both you boys would enjoy it. Really, really, really interesting sound and a very breezy listen. And yeah, very, very, very 2001 kind of electronic pop vibe to it. Really strong. So Fancy That is the name of that album. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But thumbs up on all three of those albums from this week. Yeah. And that's going to do it for music guff for me. And I'd say that's going to do it for our show. Thank you very much for listening. How many episodes? We'll do it. We'll probably do one the following week as well, the 21st, and then that'll probably be it for our festive break. So a couple more. ChairShotPodcast.com, folks, if you want to pop us an email for the festive season. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are your Crimbo traditions? Did you watch the toy show? Do you want to watch the toy show? And we'll be back next week with more C2, more Fantasy League, more festive movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So with all that said, it is goodbye from me, Barry. It's goodbye from Paul.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Joe.
Goodbye, everybody.